Good day. What's up? Oh, my goodness. What a weekend. What a weekend. If you were, man, oh, man, I'll tell you what, if you were any kind of a sports enthusiast this weekend, specifically for the state of Wisconsin, you were excited in a couple of different facets. If you are a golf fan, you were excited. If you are a, I believe the pandemic is over fan, you were excited for so many different reasons. If you are a fan of ESPN and you want to look forward to tonight's action with Aaron Rodgers, you're probably really excited. So a lot going on to get to today. Man, oh, man, oh, man. The weekend, we saw the Brewers get 2 out of 3. The Brewers bats started to wake up. Christian Yelich finally goes yard. A lot of things to discuss, which was... You know, to me, we talked about it on Friday, that there would be some kind of narrative coming into today's broadcast regarding the weekend and what the Brewers did, and plating numerous runs yesterday. Christian Yelich finally going yard, seeing some of the power numbers. And I'll get into the Keston Hiura stuff, the trade that went down and everything. We'll get into all of that. But to see the bats come to life a little bit, which was exciting. Now you got to do it, as we stated, you got to do it for more than a week or more than a series. But I was at least mildly impressed that the Brewers started hitting the baseball. And again, early on in that series, going back to Friday night, wasn't a great performance at all. But to walk away with 2 out of 3, to do it via hitting the baseball, I was at least feeling somewhat better about things as the Brewers come out of the weekend. Then you have got the obviously on Sunday with Phil Mickelson getting the win. Boy, I tell you what, that was a little bit harrowing. Something I have not seen, and I can't remember seeing, even at Tiger's height. I can't remember seeing. So it was a little bit, on one hand, I was thinking to myself, yay, it's over. And on the other hand, it was kind of like, are you kidding me? Haven't ever seen anything like that. 877-867-1670. Then you've got the Bucks getting the win in Game 1. And in doing so, the commentary began to come out. Is Giannis a choker? A choker. And we'll get into that discussion. Then the Lakers lose to the Suns. And what I saw out of Phoenix was the most tenacious defense I've seen out of a team physically tenacious defense in a long time. And then I'm going to have you fill in the blank today. And today we are going to fill in the blank for tomorrow's show. Today we are going to say, you fill in the blank. Boy, Aaron Rodgers blank. What you think? What you think is going to happen tonight? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. 877-867-1670. So it's going to be a hell of a Monday. A hell of a Monday. Does Aaron Rodgers push the nuclear button tonight? Or does he walk it back? And I'll tell you this, I get this sense that I kind of know what tomorrow's going to be. I'll tell you what that is coming up. So 877-867-1670, because I want to get your opinion on all of this stuff. Today. Thanks for following us over on the Bud Light live stream. Good morning to everybody. Thomas, Scott, Kinger, welcome as always. Dave, Steve, Christopher, Amy saying hello today. Matthew over on the Bud Light live stream that are watching. You can follow us over on Twitter at Bill_Michaels, at Bill_Michaels. You can find us on Facebook. Go to Facebook.com/The Bill Michaels Show. Facebook.com/The Bill Michaels Show. YouTube, you can subscribe on YouTube and on Twitch. Just look for Bill Michaels or The Bill Michaels. The website, TheBillMichaels.com. TheBillMichaels.com. Saying hi to Kelly, listening to us in Wausau on ESPN 98.9 and 1230 as well. Our good station there, our affiliates there. Saying hi to Ernie and the gang and Mike and Mark and the Nelson Agri Center today over in Viroqua, WVRQ. They sent me a nice email over the weekend, which is 1360 a.m. there. Our friend Kelly and Mark in La Crosse on WKTY 96.7 FM, 580 a.m. was there this morning with Dave Carney on his morning show. So a lot to get to today. There is a lot to get to. I did like the fact that Drew Holiday, he poured it on. He came on exactly what we wanted him to do. He is already paying dividends in the postseason. And that big block shot down the stretch, obviously what he did offensively, defensively, the fact that he was a few assists away from a triple-double, 20 points, 11 boards, and some assists on the day. So he's already better than Eric Bledsoe was in the postseason. So a lot to get to today. Over the weekend, by the way. Yes, if you follow me on, I didn't post it on the Facebook public page. I didn't do that a lot, and I don't know if people like that. But I do know that I like supporting local businesses. This weekend was a run of local businesses. I don't know what you had a chance to do this weekend, but since they are opening things up and things been announced in Milwaukee about things that are going to be opening up, I was pretty excited. Friday night, Kristen and I, we went down to a Stenny's. And went down to support them. I know they're going through. Boy, I'll tell you what. I found out that B-Dubs in Milwaukee and down in Oak Creek closed. We were talking about the chicken wing shortage. So check your local B-Dub. Because we were asking that last week when the whole chicken wing shortage thing came out. Apparently, chicken wings, the majority of chicken wings throughout the country come from Texas. And when Texas had the cold snap, it killed a bunch of chickens. So we don't have the chicken wings we would normally have. So between the chicken wing shortage and such, there's some places that specialize in that are starting to feel the crunch via the national suppliers. And sure enough, they're starting to close down. So B-Dubs downtown Milwaukee closed, down in Oak Creek closed. I don't know about the one out here in Brookfield where I live or not. I haven't even driven past there to check. But yeah, so places are starting to close because they don't have chicken wings right now. It'll subside eventually, but apparently right now, at least for the short period of time, they got to grow some new chickens. So holy mackerel. So I went down and supported Stenny's, went down, had a Bloody Mary, a couple of cocktails, had a really good dinner on Friday night, then went out to Stoley's Hog Alley out in Oconomowoc and saw my buddy Miles Wangren. If you ever get a chance to listen to this guy belongs in Nashville. Seriously, there should be a push on for whoever knows a record label in Nashville to get a hold of this guy. He's fantastic. So went out to hear him sing at Stoley's Hog Alley on Friday. Saturday, went and supported all my friends' charity meat raffle and donated some money there at a place called Bozeman's, which is in Grafton, Cedarburg area. Then to the Anvil for afternoon lunch with some friends on a motorcycle. Went for a long motorcycle ride. Then Saturday night, went to a place called Roscoe's. I'm telling you, Roscoe's is your typical Wisconsin hole-in-the-wall bar, right in the middle of Dirty Dallas, West Dallas, Wisconsin. And went there to see a band called Gabriel's Crossing. It was their first appearance out since, COVID has been, somewhat lifting. And then yesterday, out and about, down to a place called Docks on the Fox, which is a nice restaurant/bar right there on the Fox River down in Waterford. So went down there. So it was all over this weekend, supporting local businesses. Hopefully you get out and do the same. So I had a good time. It was great to see live music out, people partying and dancing and having fun. And things are slowly getting back to normal. Nothing says getting back to normal. Nothing says getting back to normal than watching Phil Mickelson be mobbed by a crowd before his round is even complete. That was actually a little bit scary. But the other thing that I thought, and I'm not a political person, that. I don't delve into that, but I was listening to the news this morning, And I was flipping around and I was watching Robin Meade on Headline News and CNN, and then watching the local news. And they had a clip of the president saying, over the Memorial Day weekend, we have to be careful and, keep your gatherings to 10 people or less. And in the meantime, right after that, it was a local news that had it. Because right after that, then they showed the Pfizer Forum and the Deer District with over 3,000 people on the square. I mean, just crowded in, having a great time, cheered on the Bucks. So you could squeeze 3,000 people into the square. I mean, they're shoulder to shoulder and drinking, screaming and yelling. And you've got a half capacity of 9,000 people in the Pfizer Forum, but keep it to 10 or less. We really should keep it to 10 or less, which I thought was relatively funny. But everybody's vaccinated. We got everybody with cards. We're all vaccinated. Oh, it was a good time. It was a good time this weekend. 877-867-1670. Hit us up. So do you feel a little bit better about your Milwaukee Brewers coming out of the weekend? Do you feel better about the Brewers coming out of the weekend? The first thing that is brought up is, when is Keston Hiura coming back? And did you see what Orlando Arcia is doing? Yes, I have. And Orlando Arcia can hit his ass off in the minors all he wants. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Doesn't matter. That is the Progressive commercial. Is it Progressive, Geico, whatever it is, with the guy, the motivational speaker, that says, doesn't matter. No one cares. No one cares. That's what that is. No one cares. I don't care about Orlando Arcia hitting well in the minors. Look, they made a move. Urias, clearly, offensively, he's hit about the exact same as Orlando Arcia. This whole thing about Orlando Arcia being the energy guy in the clubhouse, stop with that too. No one cares. Orlando Arcia was a good guy in the clubhouse. I admit that. But Orlando Arcia was not the glue. The glue that is gone is Ryan Braun. If you've been in that clubhouse, you would know that the glue was Ryan Braun, not Orlando Arcia. Because people are, by some chance, making this Brewers season that has become this offensive ineptitude and this mess and such, like it's the loss of Orlando Arcia. No, it's not. I think the leadership role was Ryan Braun. It was the bond of Ryan Braun and Christian Yelich, and those two guys alone were the two guys that really kind of elevated people in that clubhouse. Christian Yelich needs to come back and be Christian Yelich. Urias, his defense has been clearly affected by his ineptitude at the plate, and he is off in some mental state where he just doesn't have it. So I get the trade. I get it. But I appreciate the fact that David Stearns very quickly looked at this thing and said, and he's admitting, hey, this isn't working out. We've got to make a move. We've got to do something. Okay? We've got to do something. It has to happen. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But it's the whole Orlando Arcia, I can't believe they made that move. No, it doesn't matter. They did something. Orlando Arcia wasn't getting it done here either. So stop. I don't know why people are on the Orlando Arcia. It was you would think that they traded away, Paul Molitor. He's not Paul Molitor. Never was, never will be. So I'm glad they made a move. I'm glad they're doing something to recognize the fact that things need to change. And maybe, just maybe, coming out of Cincinnati, things will begin to change. Now, what I do hope is Keston Hiura, who is obviously had some personal issues with his mom and some things with his mom's, some mind in other places. Maybe now that some things have gotten better personally, that now he's starting to hit the ball and the concentration begins to come back, and then he comes back into the majors and does what he did a couple of years ago. So maybe in that sense, things begin to happen and work out extremely well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But with Keston here, I'm crossing my fingers that he can reach, because he has proven that he can hit consistently in the majors before. Whereas Orlando Arcia has always been a streaky hitter at best. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. So what did the weekend give you as far as coming out of the Brewers-Reds series? What did it give you that, maybe you didn't have going into the weekend? 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. And we will talk some Milwaukee Bucks as well, by the way. Yes, wholeheartedly. I want to talk some Bucks only for the fact that in my opinion, the two things to this. One is I was glad to see them get a win. We saw this team early on this season when it got tight down the stretch that they were succumbing often in losing ball games that were close ball games earlier this season. And then as the season went on, we saw them start to win those games, especially once they got back to full strength. Budenholzer got kind of his reputation down. Things began to kind of matriculate in that direction. And what we saw on Saturday, was what I believe to be kind of the learning process coming to fruition. The fact that they have somewhat figured out how to win those close games. However, let me caution you, the narrative that Giannis is a choker is becoming real. And I know some of you are going, what the hell are you talking about? Look, he can hit all the free throws he wants in the regular season. He can play however he wants in the regular season. It doesn't matter anymore. Nick Nurse showed that he cannot handle the basketball consistently, and if you collapse on him, he has trouble. Also, if you send him to the free throw line, he's a choker. Not only did he choke at the free throw line, he also ended up with a time limit violation at the free throw line. This whole thing about 13, 14, 15 seconds dribbling the basketball and the whole thing, stop it. I've said it all along. It's in his head. And how a sports psychologist, maybe they have, I don't know, but hasn't just said 1, 2, 3, rhythm, dribble, go. I have no idea. This whole thing about taking more and more and more and more time, I'm glad he got whistled because it's a joke. You need to, go back. They're going to start hack-a-shack this guy because he can't hit free throws and he's choking at the free throw line. And he should not be handling the basketball if he cannot hit free throws consistently. Give it to somebody who can. He should be nothing more than down low in the blocks. He should be a facilitator when it comes to getting the basketball and going up. And either one, dunking it over people because that's his game, or two, getting it and kicking it right back out. Be the decoy for others to get open and start hitting from the outside because he should not be handling the basketball if they're going to continually foul him down the stretch and he is going to go at best 50% from the line because he and he alone will cost this team basketball games. And that's the bold, honest fact. Nothing more. Because this whole thing about his free throw shooting, it's just gotten to the point where it's what that was in that game was almost embarrassing for an NBA player to look like that. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's do this. We're going to step away. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Brewers. Brewers over the weekend, they get 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati, and the bats started to wake up. Are you feeling better about this team? Stay tuned. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Glad to have you on board today. Welcome back to the program. I am Bill Michaels, and for those that did not know, for whatever reason, and you can get a hold of us in many ways: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You can watch the show on the Bud Light live stream, thanks to Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. So if you want to give us a shout, by all means, do so. And then over the weekend, don't forget LeBron James. I mentioned the Lakers falling to the Suns earlier. He gets busted for violating the league's health and safety protocols to mitigate the coronavirus pandemic, so to speak. And he will not talk about that. And the NBA did nothing to him, which I think is just another reason the league is fixed. The league is fixed. It's garbage. I've never been Adam Silver. I've had a lot of respect for him for a lot of the things that he has done, but not sitting, because we've seen this happen where other players have broken protocol and they've been sat for a game or two, or at least until everything clears, what have you. And nothing happens to LeBron James, obviously, because you got to keep him, because LeBron can do no wrong. So he went to an event for a tequila manufacturer, and the NBA had forbid any player to go to any indoor or outdoor gathering with more than 25 people. And, James did what he wanted to do. They did not place him in the 10 to 14 day quarantine because they say the event was held outside. But, it's, again, just another craptastic adventure in the NBA, which I feel is garbage to begin with. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to give us a shout, by all means, do so. But Christian Yelich went yard over the weekend. Anthony says the Bucks can't hit free throws. Is that rigged? No. What the hell are you talking about, Anthony? The NBA will bend over backwards to allow LeBron James to do whatever he wants. The NBA looks suspicious at many points. Free throws and playing the game are one thing. That's one thing. But to say to players, you cannot and will not do this, and then when he does it, to say, no, we're going to punish you. Because when throughout the season we have seen players punished for doing this, and then not to punish him, you're telling me that there isn't some double standard there within the NBA? You're telling me that there isn't some setting some precedent that star players will get basically whatever they want, and your biggest star in many aspects is allowed to do whatever he wants? Tell me that they don't want to keep this guy out there for television ratings? So you tell me this. Not only did they allow him to play, but then the Suns whooped their ass. Watch game 2. Because the whistles will be fast and furious if they play the exact same physical style of defense. Because he flopped, he cried, he whined, he threw his hands in the air as much as I've ever seen. And you better believe they're going to come out and blow the whistle like crazy so that LeBron James stays in the postseason a game or 2 or 5 or a series more. Absolutely. As far as Giannis not hitting free throws, come on. Anthony says all-star players in every sport get special treatment. All of them. There are some, yeah. But if you have a black and white rule that it's like you cannot do this and other players get suspended and you don't suspend him, come on. How long do you think they want to keep him around so television viewers can either love him or hate him? They're not doing what's best for the game, or they're not enforcing their own rules within. What they're doing is what's best for TV. And if what's best for TV is keeping LeBron around longer, doesn't that raise an eyebrow? If it comes down to LeBron or the Phoenix Suns, if it comes down to LeBron or the Clippers, what do we do? If it comes down to a last-second shot, let's see here. Is there going to be some mystery foul that's going to send him to the free throw line? Have we seen this game before? Hell yeah, we have. Keeping the stars around. Scotty Williams, let's pull him off the plane at the last minute. For what reason? We've seen this before. Small markets don't matter when it comes to star power. Star power in large markets. That's what they want. Just another reason to root against the Lakers. 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, by all means, give us a shout. I'm feeling kind of wild today. I don't know why. I just am. Just an FYI. Just feeling that today. I am looking forward to tonight's episode of SportsCenter. Not that I ever really give a ton of SportsCenter props to the 4-letter network. Everybody knows I'm not a big 4-letter network guy. Okay. But because I think it's become more hype than reporting. That makes sense. And I also skewed. However, I will say tonight, I think there's a lot of us that are going to be paying attention about 10 o'clock this evening. When Kenny Mayne makes his final appearance and Aaron Rodgers does him a solid and decides to speak in some way, shape, or form. I got to think, though, that questions and so now remember, Shailene Woodley had a video out of, I think it was Aaron Rodgers and some other people doing karaoke over in Hawaii. So I got to think that I don't know if Aaron's doing this from Hawaii or it's the end of their trip or they came home last night. I don't know. But I got to think that with Aaron Rodgers doing Kenny Mayne a solid, there's going to be some kind of statement that's going to come out of one Aaron Rodgers' mouth. I've got a sense into what direction it's going to go. It's whether or not you're going to agree with me. I'll let you know. By the way, Aaron Rodgers not among the group of players who reported to Lambeau Field for the start of the OTAs. Aaron Rodgers not there. Again, for those that say there's not a problem, Aaron hasn't said there's a problem in this. Aaron's not there. He is not around, and that is not like Aaron Rodgers. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Want to hear from you. So this past weekend, the Brewers get 2 out of 3. They put up some runs. They get a little bit of pitching along the way. I mean, kind of things, working in a solid direction for the Brewers. Do you feel better about the Brewers coming out of the weekend? Feel better about where the Brewers are? Or are you still kind of living via consternation as to whether or not this team is still even close to being on the right track? Brewers back at home tonight, taking on the Padres. Woodruff on the hill, going up against Snell. Usually when Woodruff's on the hill, that means that the Brewers' batting woes are going to remain prevalent. Brewers got a nice win yesterday as they put up 9 runs consistently in that game. 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 3 again in the 6th, another run in the 9th. 9 hits, had 1 error. Their defensive woes continue. But the Brewers get 2 out of 3 from the Reds. Then on Saturday, you go back and look at the game on Saturday, and they beat Cincinnati yet again, 4-3, in a close, hard-fought game. 4 runs on 6 hits. And Suter got the win in that one. Hader gets the save. And Friday night, it was just, it was a shelling, to say the very least, as the Brewers got beat by the Reds by the score of 9-4. And Adrian Hauser took the loss in that one. Just didn't have it. Early on in that ballgame, it was pretty much over. But hey, they scored some runs. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up on a Monday. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm just going to open it up. Okay, let's just go with the topics. Here it is. Do you feel better about the Brewers and their offense? Yes or no? And if so, why? Do you feel good about the Bucs getting the win in Game 1? Do you believe the narrative that is becoming more and more prevalent that Giannis coming the postseason is a choker? And what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to say? So tomorrow on the show, when we open the program, which we're going to be talking Aaron Rodgers. So when we open the program, we're going to say, last night, Aaron Rodgers said, fill in the blank. That is your homework for this afternoon, today's show. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. I want to hear from you. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up right after this.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Michael Show continues on. Want to say thanks to our friends that are along for the ride. Bud Light. Been with us a long, long time. The official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. And Giannis over the weekend talk about the game after the Bucks get the win. Here's what Giannis had to say.
There's going to be times that good things going to happen. There's going to be times bad things going to happen. And, my motto is don't ask, don't expect, don't beg. just keep playing the game. And that's what I tried to do tonight. And that's what I'm going to keep doing moving forward. Don't get too high, don't get too low. It was one game. Now we just got to lock in, see what we did well today, see what we did not do well, and try to lock in for the second game.
What they did not do well is shoot free throws worth a damn. Giannis, not good from the free throw line. Not good. And if it's going to come down to hack-a-shack, so to speak, then the Bucks are going to have to readjust their strategy when it comes to giving Giannis the basketball. Just an FYI. In the meantime, Drew Holiday talks about the game winner in Middleton.
He makes big shots every game, all games. So I feel like for him, that type of situation is literally what he does. Being put in that position, that's why they pay him the big bucks, you know.
Holiday also reiterated, he said, look, a game like this, getting to the postseason, playing this well, this is the reason he's glad he came to the Milwaukee Bucks.
No matter the amount of minutes or whatever, we're going to fight and we're going to put our best foot forward every single game. So yeah, man, this is why I'm here. I want to feel this moment and the pressure and all that. So this is it's been fun first game, but we still got some more work to do. And
in addition to that, he said this proves in his mind that you don't have to hit threes to win basketball games.
That's what we do. We don't need threes to win. We do a little bit of everything. We do a lot of everything. We can't shoot threes, but I think paint points, we do really well at getting to the free throw line, being physical in the paint. We do really well at. So that's kind of been our motto the whole season. And then the threes will follow. The threes are going to come. But it is good to be able to hit from the outside. Now, Chris Middleton talked about his final shot of the contest. Just trying to get to a spot where I knew I could possibly get a shot up or hit broke for a roll. End up getting to the spot for a shot. So just raise up and just shoot it. Try to get the last one. Taking as much time off the clock as I can. And live with the results afterwards.
And he also discusses the fact that, hey, you don't have to call a timeout. They didn't need to restructure. All they needed to do was play their game and get the win.
So it shows the trust that, we all have one another, that, on the fly, sometimes we don't have to call a timeout. We can execute our sets, everybody get their spots and, get the best shot out of it. We work on that all the time during our practices and finally came true.
So there you go. That was, Giannis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton after the ball game. The Bucks are up 1-0, back at it tonight. Game 2 against the Miami Heat, as the Bucks trying to go up 2-0 and maybe just maybe exercise some of these demons, get rid of the Heat a little bit early and be able to move on. I said I was feeling rather confident. I said Bucks in 5. I put that out there on Friday after I got off the air. I said Bucks in 5. So it was a hard-fought game. It doesn't mean the Bucks can't win in 5. I think it might have been a confidence builder for the Milwaukee Bucks, but you won by 2 at home in front of 9,000 fans that were fanatical, literally, about that contest. So a little bit nervous, but I also think the Bucks did play their best game. Neither did the Heat, but I also think the Bucks did play their best game, and they've still got more basketball left. So 877-867-1670. Give us your thoughts regarding coming out of the weekend regarding the Brewers, coming out of the weekend regarding the Bucks, and what do you think, Aaron Rodgers? What is the narrative on this show tomorrow? What do you think we're talking about? Is Aaron Rodgers? It's going to go one of 3 ways. There's going to be 1, just a lot of cryptic crap. 2, he's going to push the nuclear plunger, blow us all up, saying, "I am not returning. I will retire. I will." Just to the happy, go do my thing, or he will. And I think I think the more likely scenario is what's going to happen, and I'll tell you what that is when we come back. So hang in there. Going to go ahead and then we'll talk more about it coming up in the next hour as well. But going to go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back. I want to remind you, by the way, that if you have not signed up, you still got a little bit of time. We got about another week and a half yet to go. If you want to join us at Road America, and it's coming up the week of June 17th through the 20th, we're going to be there for the NTT IndyCar Series Rev Group Grand Prix presented by AMR, and we want you to come along. We're going to do a live broadcast there on Friday, Going to spend the weekend there. Got a campsite. Going to be there. We're going to unveil the new big unit cruiser as well. Going to have a blast. And we want you to come along. This is our first big gathering as a group, as a new network, as listeners, and you and I. So we want you to get registered because we can't take everybody, right? So we got to take as many as we can. So we've got spaces for 60 of you. So we're going to get this thing together. We're going to take somebody from Madison and La Crosse and Eau Claire and Viroqua, Wausau, Marshfield, Rice Lake, Menominee, Marinette, Shawano, Clintonville, Platteville. We're going to take you from all over. And we're going to get you and 5 of your friends tickets to the race, a campsite, and we're going to bring you to the tailgate party. Brought to you by our good friends at Quick Trip, who are going to give us the brats and the burgers and the buns and the snacks and the goodies and some of the beverages. Bud Light is going to supply us with some of the beverages. We are bringing 40 pounds of ribs on a stick from Robert's Specialty Meats in Waukesha. You get to see the brand new big unit cruiser, compliments of our friends at Kunis RV, and we're going to take in all the IndyCar action. It's going to be an awesome weekend. The NTT IndyCar Series Rev Group Grand Prix presented by AMR, June 17th through the 20th at Road America. If you are looking to camp, if you are looking for an RV, a pop-up, a tow behind, whatever it happens to be, you want to try it before you buy it, our friends at Kunis, Kunes, KunisRV.com, they got you covered. Kunis, Kunes, KunisRV.com. And you can also, if you're looking for something for the off-road, if you're looking for snowmobiles, sleds of any type, or those UTVs and ATVs, go to roadtrackandtrail.com, the world's largest supplier, by the way. The world's largest, not just our area's largest, the world's largest. They are huge, and they're right here in Wisconsin. Roadtrackandtrail.com, roadtrackandtrail.com. Get complete details and event coverage and such for your chance to win right now. Go to thebillmichaels.com. Get registered, thebillmichaels.com. There's tickets, there's camping, there's tailgating with me from Quick Trip. Our friends at Quick Trip can't do it without them. From our friends at Bud Light, from our friends at Kunis RV, go to Kunis, KUNESRV.com, our friends at roadtrackandtrail.com, and our great friends at Road America and roadamerica.com. It's all upcoming. Stay tuned. We got more of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Hey, high fives all around. We made it through another winter. And now the weather is changing. It'd be cool to sip something summery, right? Hey, we're here for you. Quick pick up a smooth pick-me-up at Quick Trip for under $1.99. Fresh blend yourself a 12-ounce fresh smoothie, a frappe, a frozen lemonade, or a cold brew. Bam! You're sipping some summer. Quick and under $1 for a limited time. Only one place. Get you to summer quicker. Quick Trip. See you next time.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
House hidden behind the window and the door, searching for signs of
Welcome back.
but there's nobody home.
Bill Michaels Show. We continue on. Glad to have you. Hopefully you're enjoying your days. When people get on you about certain words and definitions, they're like, here's the definition. So I use the word matriculate. Do you know matriculate also means to record in an official register and an official order? To matriculate through the register of order. It's not just enrolling in a university, just an FYI. You may want to broaden your definition stance. And I'm going back to the old Scottish use of the word matriculate, of which I used it in college in proper form. Just an FYI. Thought I'd pass it along for those that are so quick to point out how you're misusing words. Thank you very much. Coming up after the top of the hour, Rob Reichel is going to be joining us. We'll talk with him about the unhappy quarterback that is Aaron Rodgers and what he expects tonight to see if it matches up what I think is going to happen tonight. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Kinger says, just tell Giannis he can't leave the practice facility until he makes 100 free throws. That means he will not participate in the postseason. Michael says, Aaron Rodgers backed up against the wall. He gets out of this with a contract extension with more money, and then he is back. He'll speak tonight. We will all know more tonight. Anthony says, why is June 1st so relevant for the Green Bay Packers? June 1st, basically, in NFL salary cap calculations, June 1st is a date. It's defined in a collective bargaining agreement. Okay. This is the reason that teams release players before the start of free agency with a post June 1st designation. It's something that does not apply in many different scenarios, but the direct language from the CBA for any player removed from a team's roster or whose contract is assigned to another club or whatever, they don't have to pay out the signing bonuses. After June 1st, they're included in a team's salary. So if you're going to get rid of somebody once June 1st hits, right after that, you can say, okay, your signing bonuses and such, but then we don't have to pay you that salary and doesn't have to count against your team's salary cap. Okay, if that makes sense. So you can pay certain bonuses, but it basically comes down to a salary cap adjustment. For a player removed from a team's roster whose contract is assigned via waivers or trade right after June 1st, the signing bonus amounts for future years will be included in the team's start of the next league year. So if you let somebody go, you don't have to calculate some of that money towards this season, which gives you some breathing space if you cut some players loose. That's basically what it means. So if you cut somebody loose after June 1st, you gain additional cap space by pushing that money down the road. That's all that is. If a team trades or maybe releases a player prior to June 1st, the team then must absorb all of that money. You see what I'm saying? So if you may not have to pay their salary, but any of the signing bonus, you got to pay. Whereas if you cut them after June 1st, you absorb what your team would have spent that season rather than absorbing all of it at once. If you cut them loose prior to June 1st, you got to pay everything up front. If you cut them loose after June 1st, you only pay the signing bonus for that particular year, and then you cut them free. So you lose the salary, but you got to pay the signing bonus, but you pay it in the sense that that's what you would have paid anyway for that particular season, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but that's kind of how it breaks down. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Aaron says the Brewers and the Reds, decent series, not a great series. Still feel that they're missing the pop. Big series with the Padres coming up. There is a rumor that it looks like that Keston Hiura might be coming back. We're waiting to hear if it's confirmed or not. I've seen a couple of different reports. John Heyman had retweeted, somebody who put it out there, and I even retweeted it. But it looks like the Brewers are recalling Keston Hiura, and it makes sense. Right-handed bat in the lineup, you're going to see a lot of that. So we'll see. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. When we come back, Rob Reichel covers the Packers for Forbes.com. We're going to talk with him about this, about what he thinks is going to happen tonight. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen tonight. Robert Murray, by the way. Robert Murray, MLB insider and a baseball columnist for Fanside. Robert Murray is the one that's reporting that Keston Hiura is on his way back. So, there you go. Stay tuned. Got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show coming up. Hang in there.
This is a Wisconsin Sports Zone update.
The Milwaukee Brewers are back to 500 and also won their series against the Cincinnati Reds as they took the rubber match 9-4 yesterday at Great American Ballpark. The Brewers' newest addition, Willie Adames, drove in a pair of runs, as did Colton Wong and Avisail Garcia. Christian Yelich would also go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, including his first home run of the season. Here's more from Yelich.
And we just got to stay the course, man. You know, there's ups and downs in a baseball season. Your downs are always magnified. Your ups are always magnified. You can't ride that wave when you play baseball. You just got to try and do what you can every single day and flush it. And the guys that have been around here for a while understand that and know that if you stick after it and don't panic, it's going to turn. So that's what we're hoping for.
The Brewers now come home and welcome in the San Diego Padres starting tonight at 6:40. To the NBA, Saturday saw the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat go to overtime, and the Deer would get the edge, winning 109-107 for a 1-0 series lead. The two teams are back at it tonight for Game 2 at the Fiserv Forum with tip-off at 6:30.
So your current job isn't working out so well? Maybe you'd like a career where you work with your hands and make a good living. Have you thought of a career in a skilled trade like plumbing, electrical, or HVAC? You can be in demand and earn more than many college graduates without all the debt. To get your career started, go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin. Start today.
Greg Gard is replacing one former Wisconsin player on the coaching staff with Sharif Chambliss has been hired as an assistant coach, taking the spot held by Orlando Tucker the last 2 seasons on an interim basis. Chambliss started his coaching career with Wisconsin, serving as the video coordinator for 2 seasons. He then joined the UW-Milwaukee coaching staff in 2012, and then 2016 moved to Wright State, where he was voted the top assistant in the Horizon League in 2020. For the Wisconsin Sports Zone Network, I'm Ebo.
Welcome back to the program. Glad to have you, and thanks for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Bill Michaels Show on the air, and we're going to be talking with Rob Reichel coming up here in just a short bit. He is going to be joining us, and we'll talk with him about this Green Bay Packers team and about what I think and he thinks Aaron Rodgers may or may not say tonight. Should be rather interesting. I'll tell you what I say. I think tonight I would go with there's going to be a lot of cryptic, backhanded stuff, in my opinion. And I can't help but think that if he knows that he has the Packers kind of up against the wall, that he is going to if he's hell-bent on not coming back, then it's going to be very cryptic. But he could wipe out the media with one backhanded shot tonight. If he knows that he's going to end up back in Green Bay and that the Packers are going to concede damn near everything, okay? If he knows that's going to happen, then he can basically say, Adam Schefter, Paul Allen, myself, Mike Florio, anybody and everybody that's reported on this thing, you're all wrong. You look foolish. I don't have an angst against the Packers. I'm going to be happy to come back. I'm in a great place. I was in Hawaii with my future wife. We were singing karaoke. I'm not mad at anybody. And the Packers won't say anything. Even though everybody else has pretty much confirmed it, he could come back and say, you never heard it from me. You're all liars. And make everybody just look bad. He could drop that kind of a little nuclear bomb. Or if he knows he's not coming back, then I think he ends up being extremely cryptic. Let's see what Rob Reichel, Forbes.com, has to say. Rob, how you been, buddy?
Good, Bill. How are you, buddy?
I am good. So my scenario is that Aaron either is very cryptic tonight or he blasts everybody via his little sarcastic California cool kind of way. What do you think happens tonight?
Yeah, Bill, if he wants to turn this into a media creation, I think anybody with an IQ above about 70 will see through it pretty quickly. And he's totally underestimating the people he's talking to, because let's be honest, this all broke April 29th, right? We're talking 4 weeks now, the better part of, and he could have put out this amazing infernal sometime in the past month, right? So if he wants to come back now, Bill, and say this was an Adam Schefter creation, this was a Bill Michaels creation, like you said, this was a Paul Allen creation, all these things that have been reported since about his distaste for Gutekunst, the front office, et cetera, was a media creation, and he's never said it, then he's really underestimating, I think, the intelligence of the average fan, and he's playing him for complete boobs and just kind of rubes out there, Bill, because he's had a month to quiet this stuff down, and he hasn't done it, and he's let it linger. And my thought, Bill, is he's going to be vague tonight, like you mentioned. I think he's going to be cryptic. This thing isn't over; it's far from over. I don't expect him, Bill, to be. This is all voluntary stuff going on this week in Green Bay. It's going to be mandatory here. June 8th, I think, is the date when that officially starts. I don't expect him to be there for that, Bill. I expect him to take the fine when that rolls along, if the Packers choose to pursue that route. But Bill, in terms of just tonight, I think him and Maine might yuck it up a little bit. Like you said, he'll be cryptic. I think he'll be vague. He won't say a whole heck of a lot, and this thing's going to linger into the summer.
The pack now. The rumors are that the Packers have basically tried to contractually give him whatever it is he wants. Are you hearing the same thing?
I am. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the extension, the highest paid, this and that. I mean, it would give him a little bit of cap relief immediately if they still wanted to do something free agent wise. I don't like the move, to be honest, Bill. I think it's really shows some weakness on Green Bay's part, but yes, absolutely. I've heard the same thing, from people around the league. And Bill, if he's turning that down, it makes you wonder, is the only other stipulation that Rodgers has, that the only other thing he wants out of the team and out of management is maybe Jordan Love being moved and him never having to worry about, his replacement being on the roster again. I mean, it comes back, Bill, to complete control and power. And to me, the player shouldn't have that level of power. That should be a management type thing. So, Bill, only Gutekunst and Ball and those guys deep down, Matt LaFleur, know exactly what they told and promised Rodgers. Like you said, I've heard the exact same things. But, to me, it's a sign of weakness that they've gone that route. They had every right to look toward the future, in the 2020 draft after Rodgers had pretty mediocre 2018 and 2019 seasons. They were thinking about the long-term future of the team. Aaron Rodgers knows that. He's lived through it. Brett Favre was not very good, in 05, for example, when the Packers were 4-12 and the Packers had gone ahead and drafted Aaron Rodgers, and he's sad. He's been on both sides of this coin, Bill, and honestly, I thought he would have handled it a little different and a little bit better. And Bill, I'm a little disappointed that the Packers have maybe kowtowed to him on some of those demands.
What is best, do you think, at this point? I mean, if all things were going to be, kind of, let's see everybody coming out of this, I'm not going to say smelling like a rose, but what is best right now for the Packers in your sense?
Great question, Bill. I mean, it really is. And I don't know. There are still so many variables in play, right? I mean, is Rodgers still going to hold a grudge and come back with some level of chippiness against the organization if they can indeed resolve this thing? Let's say sometime in June, and then he's back for training camp. Bill, if he continues to harbor ill will toward the organization, if Jordan Love is still on the roster and Rodgers comes back ticked off still about it, Bill, you're probably not getting that 2020 MVP type player again. He clearly had something to prove last year. This guy extremely well. He's at his best when kind of what's driving and motivating him is revenge and spite, and he's living that out right now. This is his, to him in many ways, this is his glory. This is his moment in the sun to stick it up the Packers' backside. And if he doesn't get all he wants, Bill, and has to come back, let's say let's say there's only one or two teams that want to trade for him, right? Let's say it's Houston and I don't know, even then the Raiders, Bill, right? Two places that if he goes, they're probably still not winning a championship. And he says, you know what, I'm best off going back to Green Bay. I've got my best chance to win a title there. And Jordan Love, Bill, is still on the roster. I'm not sure you get A+ Aaron Rodgers again in 2021. So it's a tough question to answer, Bill. If much like Brett Favre in 08, they he and McCarthy and the front office guys, Ted, they could never find that happy place, and eventually they had to move on from Favre and trade him. Bill, they may have to do that exact same thing with Aaron if they just can't get to that place where everybody's going to be happy and they know they're going to get 100% from that football player. And right now, Bill, I'm just not sure they can positively say they can ever get to a point again where they're going to get 100% from Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, we're talking with Rob Reischel from Forbes.com covering the Green Bay Packers. If Matt LaFleur looked almost distraught and sounded it when he was talking about Aaron Rodgers during the last the rookie minicamp when that topic came up. Do you think Rodgers has a beef with the head coach as well, or is this strictly a front office thing?
I think it's almost all front office, Bill. And yes, I thought Matt LaFleur looked like the guy whose wife had moved out of the house and taken the kids and all the furniture and stuff too, and he was begging her to come back. It wasn't a great look for the head coach, that's for sure. But no, I think 99.9% of this is with Gutekunst and just the fact he drafted his replacement. Bill, I did a book in 2015 on Starr, Favre, and Rodgers being the three greatest quarterbacks. The top three ever inside any organization, that the Packers had the top quarterback trio. And Rodgers and I sat for a long time and, talked about what's going to happen when his replacement is drafted, Bill. And, back then he was, again, this was after the 14 NFC Championship loss to Seattle. So he was really still in his prime, playing outstanding. And, he said, I'm sure I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 years at that point in time. And, he said, I don't think it's going to happen for a while. But his comment that stands out to me, Bill, is he said, I hope I handle it a lot better than Brett did. And, really, Bill, if you look at it, he hasn't. Nobody can blame Brian Gutekunst for thinking about the future, at least in my mind, Bill. This has been a winning formula for Green Bay now, Bill, 30 years, to have that quarterback ready to roll. And it's a lot tougher to find a quarterback when you don't have one on your roster and the guy hits a brick wall than having a guy waiting and ready. So, I really thought Aaron would handle this better, Bill. His beef is clearly with the front office, with Gutekunst. Again, unless there's something he's not telling and, that he's not having his minions kind of leak out there to the rest of the world. But I think this is a general manager player type deal. Bill, yeah, I remember vividly in February of 2020, we sat with Brian Gutekunst at the Combine, and he talked about, the likelihood of drafting a quarterback being pretty high. And I walked away from that really believing Jordan Love was a guy on the table for them. And it wound up being absolutely accurate. If you remember in 18 and 19, when the Packers missed the playoffs, well, 18 they missed it, Bill, and 19 the first year under LaFleur, Rodgers certainly wasn't as good. Those couple of years and then 17 coming off the injury, I mean, how do you blame Brian Gutekunst for thinking long-term, right, and getting a guy in place where you can have winning football for the next decade? Bill, if they have a quarterback, this roster is extremely good. If Jordan Love can play, Bill, and they wind up getting 2 1s, 2 2s, and a couple of players for Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love, let's say, winds up being the 10th or 12th best quarterback in football, Bill, they're set up here again for another decade of outstanding high-level football where they're going to chase Super Bowls and win NFC North titles and chase conference championships. And so, kind of back to your initial question, Bill, what's best for everybody? If they can't get things solved with Rodgers and they can get just a boatload of assets for a guy who's going to turn 38 later this year, I think the best thing is to turn the page, move forward, and hope that Love can play. And they've got to believe that, Bill. But if he can, again, they're going to be set up for some really good football for the next 10 years.
Talking with Rob Reichel from Forbes.com, talking Packers football. Now, here's the big question. If they do trade Rodgers, if they start Blake Bortles over Jordan Love, is that an indictment? Because to me, you traded up to get Jordan Love in the first round. He should be starting. Is that an indictment of Jordan Love? I mean, all of a sudden, are you looking, saying, well, we had to get something for a guy that didn't want to come back and play for us, but yet Jordan Love really is not the guy?
It would absolutely be, Bill. And I think, honestly, the odds of that are remote. I really do. I think they needed another veteran in there. They needed a couple of camp arms, first of all, Bill, because, with the rookie stuff that went on a week and a half ago, with the voluntary stuff this week, with the mandatory stuff coming up in June, they needed guys to throw the football around. I mean, they weren't going to burn Jordan Love's arm out in May and June, and it's a guy who's smart. He's familiar with the offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. He played for him in Jacksonville, for a few years. Bill, I don't think the odds of him starting would be very high at all. I think the odds, if anybody is going to start coming, it might be a quarterback that the Packers would get in return on a Rodgers trade. Let's say a Derek Carr or something like that from the Raiders. And I'll tell you what, Bill, if they worked out a deal, for example, with the Raiders and Carr was the guy coming back, Carr to me is a guy who's in the top 15 for sure in the league, where the Packers will win the NFC North in 2021 if Carr is their starting quarterback. Now, Bill, on your bridge, and you know what? Jordan Love lost almost all of 2020 because of COVID, right? He didn't have any offseason. He didn't have any preseason games. He wasn't dressed or active for any of the regular season games. We're going to almost look at 2021 as Jordan Love's rookie year, and we're going to roll in 2021 with Carr so we don't fall off the face of the earth. I could appreciate that and understand that, Bill. Blake Bortles, to me, really isn't an option. He's just another guy to have there. So it'll be really intriguing if Rodgers does get moved, who comes back in a trade. Now, let's be honest. In all likelihood, if Love is the guy, Bill, in 2021, you're probably looking at a transition year. much like, I mean, people forget in 2008, Aaron's first year as the starter, Bill, they went 6-10, and that was a team coming off a 13-3 season that had gone to the NFC Championship game, in Brett Favre's final season. So it's not going to happen overnight. But if you've got a way to kind of bridge that gap and give Love a little bit extra time, I think that might be the best case scenario. But I don't think they'll go ahead and do that, Billy, with Blake Bortles.
Great stuff as always, Rob. We appreciate it, and we'll just all hold our breath, and I'm sure tomorrow we're going to be a flurry with Aaron Rodgers chatter, pal.
Pretty wild night. Let's enjoy it, Bill.
Good stuff, buddy. And by the way, if they want to catch your stuff and what you've written about, where they go?
Yep, they can go to Forbes.com, and I also write a lot of Packer stuff for Conley Media, which is a bunch of suburban papers at Waukesha and Washington County and Ozaukee County around Milwaukee. So they can find it at all of those places, Bill.
Excellent. We'll talk to you soon, Rob, okay?
Thanks a ton.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it, buddy. Talk to you soon. There you go, to Forbes.com, and also follow Rob Reischel over on Twitter. You can see his stuff there. And he's got some strong opinions about, hey, if Roger, you can't work this thing out, you got to get a boatload of stuff for him and get it now and then pray to God that Jordan Love's the man. Stay tuned. I want to get your reaction to all of this coming up next, and I'll give you my thoughts on all of this as well. Stay tuned right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
How we looking? Bill Michaels here for the Four Seasons Island Resort in Pembine, Wisconsin. And I've got to tell you, when I want to get away for a long weekend, I head to the Four Seasons Island Resort. It's Northeast Wisconsin's best-kept secret, and the amenities include a 9-hole golf course, indoor saltwater swimming pool, sauna, whirlpool, tennis courts, basketball, horseshoe pits, volleyball, and when you're hungry, choose from the Boundary Water Sports Bar and Grill, Lily's Ice Cream Parlor, or fine dining in the Diamond Room. How about all of that? All Marinette County ATV and UTV trails are wide open this year. Guided waterfall tours as well. It's tucked into the North Woods of Wisconsin. The Four Seasons Island Resort is located on the Muscano Island and surrounded by the beautiful Menominee River, which divides Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. An island you can actually drive to. How about that? It's simply gorgeous there. Whether it's a romantic weekend for two, a golf weekend with the boys, or an adventure weekend for the entire family, Four Seasons Island Resort is a place to go. Book your getaway today at thefourseasonswi.com. That's thefourseasons, FOURWI.com, and make sure you tell them Bill Michaels sent you.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
We were starting to hear come about. I thought, maybe it will be a June 1st or June 2nd trade, but I don't think so. The Packers have proven in the past that if something like this comes to fruition, then they will wait as long as they can before making a necessary move. And in addition to that, they will then begin to really take a lot off. Now, here's the other thing. They could say, if Rodgers is not going to come back, they could say, look, sit out. And then there's going to be a lot of teams in the National Football League over the next season that are going to think they have quarterbacks or may not be real certain about their quarterback situation, in which they could then say, okay, let's get 3-4 more teams into the mix for a quarterback who is aging but has good legs because he sat out the first 3 years once he got into the league, and he has now sat out basically the equivalent of 2 additional years when you talk about sitting out this season and sitting out the year 2 half seasons after the collarbone injuries. So you let the bidding begin for teams that may want to have a quarterback away from greatness shot. Let the bidding begin. So maybe you do let him sit out for a season. See what you have in Jordan Love. And then if you need to make another deal with Rodgers, make another deal next year. And in addition to that, then you can look at other teams and say, okay, we do have or do not have your quarterback to take you to the promised land available. And that way you make a deal from a position of power. You let Rodgers think about it for a season. You don't cave. That could end up being a win-win. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. You want to find us? Do it. Again, 877-867-1670. But you think about that premise and just let them sit. So the Packers are by no means in a hurry to say we're going to make a knee-jerk reaction and dump Aaron Rodgers. But tonight, I want to err on the side of he's just going to be cryptic. But I get the sense he could also be very Aaron Rodgers and smarter than the average bear and come out and say that this is all a lot ado about nothing. A lot ado about nothing. 877-867-1670. So tomorrow when we come on the air, I will say, welcome to the program. Last night, Aaron Rodgers, and then fill in the blank. So you fill in the blank. Welcome to the program. Last night, Aaron Rodgers, fill in the blank. Unless Christian Yelich goes 4 for 4 with 4 home runs, I can't imagine the headline coming into tomorrow's program being about anything other than Aaron Rodgers. But if I say to you, last night, Aaron Rodgers, you tell me. Write the rest of the story. What do you think is going to happen this evening? What do you think is going to happen tonight? 877-867-1670. You can shoot me an email if you want to do so. thebillmichaels@gmail.com. thebillmichaels@gmail.com. You can find us over on Twitter @Bill_Michaels. @Bill_Michaels. And you can also hit us up over on the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/The Bill Michaels Show. You can make comments on the Bud Light live stream as well. Find us there. Hey, I want to remind you about our friends from New Mail Medical. New Mail Medical. Look, New Mail's been doing it for a long time, and they have had a lot of people, a lot of entities that have decided to say, hey, we're going to emulate, duplicate, replicate, impersonate what it is you do. And they're the original in treating guys with ED, a 98% success rate. 98% success rate. And that means the medical experts over there, the medical experts, by the way, they're doing something right. They've been doing it for a long time. And they've been getting it right for a long time. And they can give you, by the way, almost a 98% success rate or better, and almost guarantee that they can help you out. Almost guarantee it. There's not many companies that can say we can do this, but they can. And as far as, the additionals, when it comes to beyond, ED, they can talk about low T issues with low energy, brain fog, just, kind of your mood is up and down in situations like that. They can help you out with that. Just go in. If you're over the age of 30, get your numbers checked. It takes you about 10, 15 minutes. No big deal. Or the all-in-one weight loss program. And that works. Yes, it does. I got asked again this weekend, hey, looking good. Is that new? Well, what is that? What do they do? I said, look, it's set up. Everybody's different. So they look at your metabolism. They look at your makeup, so to speak. And then they say, okay, this is what we can do for you. This is what we can help you out with. This is the energy we can give you. And then all you got to do is follow it. Jumpstart your health and wellness. A new you. As we are now, we saw 80s over the weekend. People hot, t-shirt, whether we out there in a t-shirt going, oh my God, look at this. My t-shirt doesn't even cover my tummy anymore. If you want to jumpstart a new you, that's a great way to do it. All you got to do is call them. 414-455-4451. 414-455-4451. That is the New Mail Medical Center. Again, 414-455-4451. Tomorrow, when we open the program, we will say, last night, Aaron Rodgers, blank. Blank. You tell me what you think the headline tomorrow is going to be. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. Bill Michaels Show. We are enjoying the day. Hopefully you are as well, as sitting here wondering what tonight is going to bring. We got a lot to talk about today. Brewers win 2 out of 3 over the weekend. The bats start to wake up. It looks like Keston Hiura coming back to the team. And you've got the Bucks back at it tonight. Game 2 Game 2. In addition to that, you've got LeBron James not getting any kind of a ban for the breach of health and safety protocols. And the NBA and Adam Silver looking completely cojones-less. So there's a lot going. And Charles Barkley had some strong words as well for the commissioner, which we'll let you know what those were. We'll let you know what those were, because it was some strong words for the commissioner. Said the NBA doesn't have the balls to suspend LeBron James. Calls him out. So we'll get into that discussion coming up. But in the meantime, so tomorrow when we start the show, what do you think the headline is going to be? So when I come on and I say, welcome to the Bill Michaels Show, last night on the 4-Letter Network, Aaron Rodgers, fill in a blank. Now think about that. Think about it. When we come on the show tomorrow, Scott says, Bill, since we all are guessing, I feel that if the Packers play hardball and say sit, and he does this for a year, then he will sit when they want to make a deal and further show how blanked up management is. Ryan says, when we start the show tomorrow, it'll say, last night Aaron Rodgers restructured his contract so the Packers could bring in Julio Jones. The rest is history. Tony says, last night, Aaron Rodgers revealed absolutely nothing, gushed about his fiance and his time in Hawaii and how much he loves Kenny Mayne and his sense of humor. He would, because he's a California guy. Then he goes on about Kenny Mayne. So, yeah, I got to admit, I think Kenny Mayne has done some really neat things. But the pieces that they got, they ended up putting him off like in Kenny's world, in this weird, very dry sense of humor type of world. And it I don't know. I mean, some people loved it. I didn't. I just thought it was just really a waste of time and kind of stupid, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Somebody thought it was funny. And maybe that's the reason he's not coming back. Who knows? 877-867-1670. Our buddy ESPN Steve over on the Bud Light live stream says, Aaron says nothing. Our other Steve says, Aaron talks about his new lady and his Hollywood lifestyle, and that's it. Cindy says, last night Aaron said nothing. Let's go to the phone calls. Talk to Tom. Tom, welcome to the program, The Bill Michaels Show. What's going on, man?
Good morning, Bill. I wanted to go a little bit different direction on the Rodgers saga. I don't think you've talked about this. Like most of your listeners, my athletic career ended in the high school locker room.
Right. But
you went a lot further with that, and you've been around these guys. You've been around the locker rooms. And my question is, how does this Rodgers saga play with his teammates? You will see, if a guy gets hurt, they'll say they're going to come back and they're playing for their teammates. But I think about Rodgers' relationship with people like Mercedes Lewis, the Smith brothers, Bakhtiari, Vontae Adams. I mean, are those guys feeling let down? Are they pissed? Are they confused? What's your thoughts having been around those players?
That's a great question. I think, first of all, they all understand that he's their leader, so they're going to kind of defer to him. I think if you had to ask each one, hell yeah, they want him back. I mean, they would do anything and everything to get him back because he gives them the best shot at winning. And I also look at it as they've been in the NFC Championship game the last 2 years. They've actually added some pieces to this team. They believe that the draft was pretty good. So if you believe all of that and you see talent there, then you're ready to take the next step. And you can't take that next step unless you have Aaron Rodgers. So if they want to win a ring and they want the glory, they're going to have to get him back. But you also look at it as there, but for the grace of God. And when it comes down to the business side of things, you want to have the same power and position that Aaron Rodgers does, so you don't want to question it. I think behind closed doors, they're probably like, dude, why, you know we can't win without you, man. We support whatever it is you do, but I hope you come back. That probably is the best way to describe it. Does that answer your question?
Do you think they? Well, do you think they mean it? I mean, if you could have an off the record conversation, have a couple of beers with Bakhtiari, do you think he would? I mean, would he express he's pissed you, or when don't they ever go there even?
No, I'm sure he would say, I signed here thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to be my quarterback, and I'm kind of pissed that I didn't, move on, or at least go to free agency to take my best opportunity elsewhere if he was not going to be our quarterback. Then again, I mean, they have seen Jordan Love up close and personal. Maybe they think there's something there, and he could be some kind of a game manager and or a leader enough to get them to the promised land. But if I'm Bakhtiari, if I'm some of the guys that have restructured, look at a guy like Zadarius Smith who said, hey, I came here to play with Aaron Rodgers and I want to remain a Green Bay Packer the rest of my career. If I'm guys like that, I'm probably going, well, what the hell? I mean, if you're now just leaving us because for no other reason than your feelings are hurt, then yeah, maybe I'm a little bit pissed off. But I don't think publicly, for the record, I'm ever saying that. But I think a lot of those guys think, there, but for the grace of God, and but selfishly speaking, I want to win a championship. And dude, what are you doing to us?
Okay, one final thing is the injury analogy. Does that hold here? Or is this a totally different ball game?
No, Aaron Rodgers had two broken collarbones, and when he was injured, he still led this team to an NFC Championship game. So, I mean, even if Favre would have been playing in today's day and age, he would have missed games because of concussion protocol. So, I mean, every quarterback gets beat up. It's how well you play when you're beat up that, you're considered great, so to speak. And Aaron Rodgers, with a bad torn calf muscle, took the team to an NFC Championship game. The year that he had the broken knee, he still played, and nobody knew about it. We knew he was a little off, but nobody knew why. So now we know. But regardless, I don't think he's an injury-prone quarterback at all.
No, I think you misunderstood. That's my point. I mean, Rodgers went to battle for these guys, for his teammates, when he had severe injury and was severely hurt.
Right.
Now all that's hurt is his feelings, and he won't. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
right.
All that's hurt now is his feelings.
Yep.
And he won't.
I agree with you 100%. And appreciate the phone call. I agree that Rodgers, he played for these guys, with these guys. Rodgers also plays for his legacy. If you had to put a percentage on it, I would say 50% of it is Rodgers' legacy, his ego, his competitiveness, his legacy. The other 50% is for the guys. But also, when you talk about maybe a percentage you could throw in there, and to what extent, I don't know, but he knows his predecessor didn't miss games. So for him to miss games, it pained him. Not because of the injury, but because he was missing games. So even if he was hurt to the point that he didn't feel he could perform, he knew he had to go out there because Favre did. I mean, that was the shoes that he had to fill. He had to prove that he was a durable quarterback. And for the most part, he's done that. So, yeah, he went out to play for his guys. Yeah, he went out to play for his own statistics and his own legacy. But he went out to play because he didn't want to be labeled less than what Favre was. So there's plenty of reasons he went out there, and that gains respect. Absolutely, that gains respect. Very much so. But he did it for many different reasons. 877-6. That's a great. 877-867-1670. So good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate it. So the narrative tomorrow, coming out of tonight's interview with Aaron Rodgers, will be what? Tomorrow, welcome to the Bill Michaels Show. Boy, last night, Aaron Rodgers, and then blank. Fill in the blank. You tell me. More of the Bill Michaels Show next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Appreciate you taking a listen to us today. Thanks so much. As always, all you got to do for all the different links, go to thebillmichaels.com. That is thebillmichaels.com. Thebillmichaels.com. And if you are going to watch tonight in anticipation of some kind of an announcement via ESPN, the four-letter network, Kenny Mayne, Aaron Rodgers tonight, what do you think? What do you think, Aaron Rodgers? What do you think the headline is tomorrow when we start the show? Welcome to the Bill Michaels Show. Last night, Aaron Rodgers, fill in the blank. Travis said Aaron Rodgers reveals they've reached a deal and announces his line of scotch called RELAX. That is cool. I like that answer. Bill Michaels' number one fan over on Twitter says Aaron Rodgers says he's officially retired and is now the new GM. He also says LaFleur is now an assistant coach and Eric Bieniemy will take over as the head coach. Finally, Love will start as the quarterback. And if you believe all of that, then you believe he will actually talk about any of this. There you go. What are you expecting from Kenny Mayne's big interview tonight with Aaron Rodgers? Anything? Anything at all? Anything at all? 877-867-1670. 867-867-1670. Scott says, if A-Rod is wearing a Broncos jersey, then we all know. I like that. He wouldn't say anything. He'd just come out in a Broncos jersey. I could see that. Craig says most of his buddies were with him at the Kentucky Derby, and Devontae Adams has said he has a lot to think about when his contract is up, so I think they are siding with him. I don't believe we'll learn anything tonight about Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. ESPN Steve says he speaks a lot, but says nothing at all. This is from Maxie, who says his mouth is moving but not saying anything. This is from JJ, who says, I think he's going to talk a lot about his new fiance, his new life, and will say nothing about the Green Bay Packers. This one's from Daryl, who says that if you think his guy, Kenny Mayne, is going to press him on anything, you're sadly mistaken. A-Raj has all the questions sitting in front of him. No way he's saying a damn thing. I kind of tend to agree with you. I really do. Yeah. I tend to agree with you. I don't think he's going to say a whole lot. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I either think he's going to come out swinging against the media, saying we made it all up, which would be his way, because unless you're in his inner sanctum, it would be his way of slapping anybody that gets rumors and or innuendos. When we all know where the story came from, we all know it's completely obvious. We all know that what Adam Schefter said was completely the truth. We know where he got his information, and then he had to backpedal because of where he got his information. Jordan says, I believe Adam Schefter 100%. It has been great reporting, and the only person not to say a word about it is the man that cannot be a man, Aaron Rodgers. Well, we'll find out tonight. 877-867-1670. Yep, coming up in the next hour, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Bucs win over the weekend. We'll talk some about the Brewers. Brewers calling up Keston Hiura, it looks like. Putting the right-handed bat back in the lineup, and he's been hitting with power in the minors. So we'll see if Keston Hiura all of a sudden has the resurgence that he had only a year and a half ago, because he has not been hitting the ball very well in recent history. So we'll see if it actually happens tonight. See if it comes up. And then Eric Name putting out last postseason, the Bucs used a lineup with 4 bench players, and 14.4% of the team's 485 postseason minutes. In game 1, at least 2, Giannis, Chris, and Drew Middleton were on the floor for all 53 minutes. And Budenholzer's changed up the rotation. So I'm looking forward to game 2 coming up tonight. Game 2 coming up tonight between the Heat and the Bucs. Bucs getting a win. A close win, a hard-fought win. Did you leave there feeling good? Whether it's a win by 20 or a win by 2, it's a win. But did you walk away feeling good and confident regarding tonight's contest between the Bucs and the Miami Heat? Game 2 of the series coming up. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Give us a shot. This is from Joe. Joe writes, Aaron Rodgers ain't saying blank. He is going to be cryptic tonight. He's going to be California cool, and he's going to piss us all off. That's probably it. We're going to talk a lot about nothing tomorrow. I like that. Oh, there you go. I like that. This is from James. James says, walking away from the game on Saturday, the Bucs can't make free throws to save their lives. That's going to be their downfall. Well, Giannis specifically, but yeah, I get it. By the way, I will get into this, but the NBA is not suspending LeBron James for the breaking of safety protocols. And Charles Barkley had this to say: I love Adam Silver. Rest in peace, David Stern, the best commissioner in sports. The NBA ain't got the blanking balls to suspend LeBron James. Zero. Listen, today when I read that, sometimes you read that stuff, you start laughing. Hey, the NBA, they ain't got no chance of suspending LeBron James. If it was a nobody, they'd put him in the health and safety protocol. Ain't no effing way LeBron James is going to be sitting out with all these health and safety protocols. When I read that, I just started laughing. LeBron James is playing Sunday, guarantee. So, and he did. The NBA lost a lot of credibility yesterday. They already have a sketchy past. When you have David Stern smiling, and I've always said David Stern, when he smiled, he looked like the Joker in Batman. He had that Joker-esque smile and got there and wagged his finger at the world and said, there's no cheating in our game. There's nobody fixing games. And then Tim Donaghy comes out, and we find out that there was cheating in basketball, that there was. And he claims there was widespread cheating in basketball. And it all came down to, no, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. And then you see certain things that very much make the NBA look fixed. And then this happens. Yeah.
As expected, Aaron Rodgers did not report for the first day of OTAs in Green Bay this morning. That, according to ESPN. OTAs are voluntary, but Rodgers has routinely taken part in previous years. Also has a $500,000 workout bonus in his contract where he has to take part in a certain portion of the offseason program, which he has now forfeited. The three-time MVP in the front office are at odds with Rodgers reportedly telling the team he did not want to return to the club in 2021. Packers have repeatedly said they'd want Rodgers back and have no interest in trading him. Instead of being in Green Bay, Rodgers was seen in Hawaii with fiancée Shailene Woodley and other friends. Only part of the offseason program players are required to attend is the mandatory minicamp, which for the Packers is coming up June 8th through the 10th. It's the first time Rodgers can be fined by the team for not showing up.
Want to save even more at Fleet Farm? Well, now you can with Fleet Rewards. It's free to sign up, and there's no credit card required. Using Fleet Rewards is easy. Earn points every time you shop. Plus, get exclusive member offers, birthday and anniversary perks, free tire rotations, and more. Download the Fleet Farm app or create an account at fleetfarm.com/rewards to start earning points today. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Well, game 2 of the Bucks and Heat series is tonight in Milwaukee. Bucks own a 1-0 lead after their overtime win on Saturday. Giannis WTH says they have to stay even-keeled after that win and not worry about outside noise.
There's going to be times that good things going to happen. There's going to be times bad things going to happen. And, my motto is don't ask, don't expect, don't beg. Just keep playing the game, and they get too high, they get too low. It was one game. Now we just got to lock in, see what we did well today, see what we did not do well, and try to lock in for the second game.
Tip is set for 6:30, and Keston Hero reportedly being recalled from AAA to rejoin the Brewers after a 3-week stint in Nashville. Milwaukee faces San Diego starting tonight. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heilprin.
Welcome one, welcome all. The Bill Michaels Show. We are back. Hour number 3 in a fast-moving show today. Got a lot to talk about. Bucks going to win over the weekend. They're back at it tonight, and the Brewers and the Padres are going to be going at it down at the down at American Family Field, Fiserv Forum tonight. A lot of people heading towards downtown. You got 50% at American Family Field, 50% at Fiserv, and after the end of June, you're going to be back to max capacity when it comes to American Family Field, which is fantastic. By the way, speaking of max capacity, the pandemic, per the PGA, is over. They didn't come out with a statement, but they did. Did you watch the PGA Championship this weekend? Phil Mickelson, walking up 18, hits his second shot. And it's like the crowd disregarded, maybe it's the state in which we live after everything we've been through via COVID, when there was everything from, quarantines to protests to we're going to do whatever the hell it is we want to do. But they completely disregarded the voluntary security at the Ocean Course and said, to hell with it. We're going to collapse around Lefty, and we're going to go pat him on the back. And there was at one point where Phil was trying to get through. He was trying to like move his shoulder and pull his arm away. People were grabbing him, and the police were around him, and nobody cared. It was a scene, man. It was a crowd of just throngs of people collapsing to get. Nobody gave one damn about pandemics or coronavirus or anything. I mean, it's over. Find a new cause. Something else. Got to go get something. Remember the flu? We've cured that. We're on to something else. Bring back the Zika virus or something, because they didn't care about this. I mean, everybody collapsed on Phil. Phil finally gets the win. He is the first 50-year-old or older champion to get a major, and he ends up winning the U.S. Open. But what a scene it was. What a scene it was yesterday at the Ocean Course in South Carolina. Man, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I thought to myself, if Koepka would have played anywhere decent down the stretch, it might have been more of a maybe three-way tie with Louis Oosthuizen, or he would have been able to catch Phil. But Koepka with that ailing back. Did you watch him bend over and set his ball on the green to replace it? The man couldn't even squat down. His back was so bad. How he played those rounds of golf with that kind of a bad back, I have no idea. But the man couldn't even bend over. He struggled and still played that well. So give it up for Brooks Koepka. Oosthuizen played well down the stretch, but I'll tell you what, it was a mob scene, man. It was a mob scene when it came to Phil Mickelson walking up 18. He hits that second shot, puts it onto the green, and it was just pandemonium, because that was the first time I really thought to myself, oh my God, I can't believe that they're getting this close to this a guy like that. You know, I mean, it might have been a little bit scary. I mean, granted, everybody's cheering for Phil, but it only takes one nut, right? But man, what a scene. What a scene yesterday in the PGA Championship. So good for Phil Mickelson. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Rob Reicher was just on the show back in the last hour, and I asked him what he thinks, writing for Forbes magazine, covering the Green Bay Packers a long time, what he thinks the Packers should do regarding the Aaron Rodgers situation.
You know, let's say there's only one or two teams that want to trade for him, right? Let's say it's Houston and, I don't know, even then the Raiders deal, right? Two places that if he goes, they're probably still not winning a championship. And he says, you know what, I'm best off going back to Green Bay. I've got my best chance to win a title there. And Jordan Love, Bill, is still on the roster. I'm not sure you get A+ Aaron Rodgers again in 2021. So it's a tough question to answer, Bill. If, much like Brett Favre in 08, they he and McCarthy and, the front office guys, Ted, they could never find that happy place, and eventually they had to move on from Favre and trade him. They may have to do that exact same thing with Aaron if they just can't get to that place where everybody's going to be happy and they know they're going to get 100% from that football player. And right now, Bill, I'm just not sure they can positively say they can ever get to a point again where they're going to get 100% from Aaron Rodgers.
I think if Rodgers comes back and they make peace, you're going to get 100% of Aaron Rodgers, because he knows his legacy's riding on this. He's not returning to Green Bay to just play out the rest of his days. He's returning to Green Bay to win a championship. He's returning to Green Bay to justify the petulance. That's what he's coming back to Green Bay for. That's why tonight, if he wants to try to shed that image, he can look at everybody and go, there's nothing here. He's going to talk a lot. I have a feeling he's going to do that, yeah, Kenny, yeah, there's a lot going on. He's going to kind of smile. He's going to go, but it's all good. I'm looking forward to this season. I'm enjoying my life, But there's an OTA going on right now, and Aaron Rodgers traditionally doesn't miss these things. He's usually there. So to say that there isn't a problem, today was a prime example that there is. Because otherwise he would be there. Because he always participates in the voluntary workouts. He's got workout bonuses. Not that he really gives a damn about the money, but he's there. And the fact that he's not there says something. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Eight 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, feel free to go ahead and do so. Tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers, the headline will be what? Mark says, I hope the headline is Bucks win game 2 in blowout fashion, and at least for a short period of time, we don't have to listen to the Aaron Rodgers speculation. This crying, whining baby needs to go away and move on and leave us alone. He has not been good in the postseason. He's won 1 Super Bowl, and that was on the defense, not on the offense. Had it not been for Nick Collins getting the pick 6 and changing the momentum and going out with Clay Matthews and getting the fumble, he doesn't win a Super Bowl. Aaron takes too much credit for it. He always has. That's the way things are. He'll point the finger at everybody else, won't point the finger at himself. Let's get rid of this loser and move on. Wow, there you go. Thanks for the email. Holy mackerel. There's some venom there. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Scott says, don't forget Koepka's had knee surgery back in March. His lower back, he had talked about it on the his knee. He had the knee surgery in March. You are correct. But he also had some back spasms that he had talked about yesterday. I believe it was yesterday morning or Saturday morning. 877-867-1670. This is from Dino. Dino writes, I don't think Aaron Rodgers says anything. I think he's going to just smile and say this is all made up and that it's clickbait, and he's going to throw everybody else under the bus but himself, which will make him seem even more petulant and more of a whiny baby. Never thought of that. Andy says with that email from Skip Bayless, right? That's what it sounded like. I agree with that. First of all, you know what? I don't really want to address it, but Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. Okay. The defense played a part in it. Aaron Rodgers played a part in it. He had a tremendous game. Let's be honest. Okay. It is what it is. You know? Eric says Phil should have wrapped his wedge around the guy that grabbed him. Come on, security. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a wild scene yesterday. It just was. Marv said, reminded me of the old British Open days. Remember that? Yeah, kind of like, it's just that you don't, short of the Waste Open the management, Waste Management Open they have out in Arizona, where they throw all the beer cans and cups and stuff. Was it 16 or 17 or something like that? Whatever it happens to be. You know what I'm talking about. We're out in Arizona where the TPC Phoenix or whatever it is. It's out in the eastern portion of Arizona. So anyway, other than the Waste Management Open, I don't know of any, maybe a Ryder Cup, but I don't know of any crowd that's that raucous and that intrusive when it comes to golf. It was a bizarre scene, and I honestly think that it's two things. I think there's two products here. One is there has been, and I'm only putting this out there not to get political, but there has been this almost anti-authority mentality by many over the recent year due to protests and things that have happened in our country. I think that's part of it, where people just don't care anymore. There is no decorum. It's just, I'm going to do what I want to do. Screw you. And if you try to arrest me or do anything about it, to hell with you. You're at fault, not me. I think that's part of it. And the other part of it is we're just glad to be out. We're like so happy to be out. We're so glad to be intermingling and to have a sense of normalcy. We're so glad to be at a golf tournament that we don't even realize it. Our exuberance, our jubilance, our exhilaration just overtakes the situation right now because we're just so damn glad to be doing something. I think that's part of it too. That's where we were yesterday. 877-867-1670. So, yeah, I agree. I think it was crazy. Happy Gilmore's crowd was rowdier. Cheddar Balls, I would agree. But it was very mimicable of what we witnessed yesterday. Oh, Dave says, I think Aaron Rodgers is not going to say a damn thing, and I hope Giannis actually hits some free throws. Maybe he's at the gym right now practicing, although I don't think he's going to start hitting free throws overnight. What is up with the damn 13 seconds, 14 seconds, 15 seconds for him to actually shoot a free throw? Is he that poor? I don't know. I don't know. There's a methodology to the madness there where you want to become fluid in repetition. But I think, and I've said this, I'm on record as saying this, that the routine he has going to the free throw line allows him to think about it far too much. I don't remember ever watching any player take that long a time at the free throw line. It's dribble, 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 maybe spin the basketball back, grab it, shoot. I don't know of any player that goes through that much mental preparation to shoot a free throw. It's a free throw, for God's sakes. It's not like that awkward free throw where Shaq used to put the ball on his fingertips and he'd have his elbow out and he tried to, it was crap. It was terrible. But Shaq never, ever was proclaimed to be an outside shooter. So anything beyond 10 feet, that wasn't his game. Giannis wants to be a three-point shooter. Giannis wants to be a pull-up shooter. Giannis wants to be a turnaround shooter and a guy that can Euro step you and dunk on you and posterize you. So a free throw should be of simple essence. And it's awful. It's terrible to watch. And the worst part about it is people will get juiced up about his numbers in the regular season. I don't care about Giannis's numbers in the regular season. If you are going to be a leader and you're going to be the proclaimed Batman and you just need a Robin alongside you, you need another guy, then you help your team. Otherwise, you should become nothing more than a blocks player. Get down low in the blocks, and especially late in games, and stay there. If they're going to foul you, make 4 guys foul you as you go up for the dunk and make the dunk count so you only have to hit the N1. Or become the guy that sucks in the defense into the paint for them to guard you and leave guys in the outer perimeter open who can actually shoot the three consistently. And maybe free throw shoot are basketball. Because otherwise, I'm going to go into, if it's a close game, I'm going into the hack-a-shack. I'm going to start fouling the hell out of Giannis, put 3 and 4 guys on him, and make him earn it at the line. And I'm going to win the game because he's going to fail. He chokes. That's the way I'm going to win basketball games against the Milwaukee Bucks. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up. Give us a shout. Give us your thoughts. 877-867-1670. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up right after this.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program. Bill Michaels Show continuing on. We are glad you are with us, and a lot to cover because the Bucks get a win. They're back at it tonight. Brewers take 2 out of 3 from the Reds. The Bats seemingly wake up. Keston here is coming back to the team. You've got Aaron Rodgers tonight appearing with Kenny Mayne on ESPN. And what do you think he is going to say before it's all said and done? In addition to that, you have got the NBA not placing LeBron James in the health and safety protocol for violating the league's health and safety protocols. You got Lefty winning the PGA championship and being mobbed by fans. Clearly the pandemic is over. And a weekend in which it was great. You talk about returning to a sense of normalcy. Let me give you the rundown here real quick. Okay, I don't want to bore you, but my weekend started out on Friday night, got off the air, and we did the show outside at the Tiki Bar on Friday, which was fantastic. And thanks to everybody for all the kind words. And people really seemed to enjoy that. I don't know whether it was just a backdrop or what it was, but it was just a different vibe on Friday. So it was a really fun show. So I enjoyed it. I'm glad you did too. And we're going to do more of these. We will. It's coming up on Thursday, as a matter of fact. We're going to be doing the happy hour live stream from Milwaukee Brewing. We're going to be talking with Jim McCabe, who is a craft brewer in the state of Wisconsin, along with Dave Hawk, who is the CEO. We're going to talk about beer. I mean, if you can't have a happy hour if you don't have beer, and if you can't watch a happy hour live stream about beer, I don't know what you can do. So we're going to do that coming up on Thursday. And then on Wednesday, June 9th, we're going to be out at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. We're going to talk with Leanne Hawk, who is the manager who runs the Budweiser Pavilion, as Wednesday Night Live is coming back. Live music out in public without restrictions is going to happen in West Allis, Wisconsin on the State Fairgrounds. And then in addition to that, we're going to be joined by Kathleen O'Leary, the executive director of the Wisconsin State Fair. She's going to be there. That's the happy hour live stream. And then I've got another one coming up where I just got in touch with Bill Davidson. And we're hoping that we can put it all together with Bill Davidson and a guy named Bill Rodencall, who works at the Harley Museum, and call it the Three Bills. And we're going to sit down and talk Harley Davidson. So we're going to do a lot of different things within the state that are not strictly sports related. So that's all coming up. So just to kind of give you an idea, we're going to finally start heading out and about. But Friday night got off the air, went down to Stenny's, had a terrific dinner down there. Kristen and I just wanted to get out. So we went down, we were watching some of the Brewers game, just hanging out for a little while and kind of seeing how, Milwaukee is starting to get ready for the lifting of the protocols and the mask mandates and such. And so then from there, we went out to Oconomowoc and saw a buddy of mine, Miles Wengren, who is absolutely fantastic. And I put this out the other night. I said he belongs in Nashville. He's just fantastic. So we listened to some music at Stoley's Hog Alley out in Oconomowoc and out in really the, I don't know if it's not Sullivan. Maybe it is. I can't remember the little area that sits in, but it's right there in Oconomowoc. Anyway, Saturday went to a meat raffle out at a place called Bozeman's in Cedarburg, the Cedarburg Grafton area. And there's a charity called All My Friends, and they do a lot of work in that area. So we went out and supported that. Then went to a place called the Anvil in downtown Cedarburg. Had a terrific lunch with friends out motorcycle riding and such. Went to Roscoe's Bar in West Allis, Dirty Dallas, on Saturday night and saw the band Gabriel's Crossing and hung out there for a while. Then came home, and then yesterday went down to Doc's on the Fox and hung out down there for a little while last night. Had a terrific dinner and met some friends down there for dinner. So got out and supported a lot of local business. Hopefully you are as well. And but it's good to see people getting back out and doing a lot of different things. So then, in addition to that, we had some terrific sports over the weekend. The Brewers getting 2 out of 3, Bats starting to wake up, Bucks getting a win on Saturday. You had Phil Mickelson getting the win over the weekend as well on the PGA Championship. Got Aaron Rodgers getting ready to come on the Kenny Mayne show tonight. Charles Barkley ripping the NBA for not having the balls to be able to suspend LeBron James. There's a lot to talk about. I mean, pick it. And then today, you got the Packers OTAs and no Aaron Rodgers, who's traditionally at these OTAs. So for those of you that said, this is all made, this is all media driven, nothing made up. It's all crap. It's not crap. Yet again today, proof is in the pudding. Actions speak sometimes much louder than words do. And it's all happening. Andy says, as a Packers fan, I feel that Rodgers wants what I want. An organization that actually puts their money where their mouth is and is fully committed to winning championships the way other teams are. That's from Andy. This is from Darren. Darren says, Brian Gutekunst has to go. He's made a mess of this, and Mark Murphy goes along with him. Throw them both out on their asses right now. I can't believe this has happened not once, but twice to these two buffoons running our beloved organization. You keep calling it Red China, and I 100% agree. They don't want to tell you a damn thing. They want our money. They keep jacking up the prices. Yet when stuff like this happens, they put the fans last. We're the ones that are supporting this GD organization. We're the ones buying the worthless stock and telling everybody we're owners. We all know it's BS. Blank them both. I want them out on their asses. I want them now. And if anybody's listening on the board of directors, please do something about this. We know who you are, and we're going to stop supporting your companies as well because you worthless pieces of blank aren't doing anything about it. Wow. Darren bringing some venom today. He signs it saying, thanks for letting me vent. Where's the Tylenol? Darren. And by the way, Darren listening to us in Marshall on WOSQ radio. Thank you, Darren. Man, that's letting it all hang out. There's more than a few expletives in that email. I'll tell you that. I don't care who you are. This is from Anthony. Anthony says, cooler heads need to prevail. Aaron needs to quit being such a petulant baby. He cries and whines about everything, points the finger at everybody else, and will not take responsibility for his own issues. Look at his personal relationships. Look at the life that he is living. He enjoys himself with his money, yes, but will not talk to his family, has blown off girlfriend after girlfriend, and now has problems with the organization. Let's talk about the problem here. The real problem is Aaron Rodgers. Appreciate the email. And then this is from James. James says, I think both sides will come to an agreement before it's all said and done. Give Aaron some time to cool off and realize that this organization gives him the best shot at winning and will adore him for the rest of his life if he brings another championship or two to Green Bay. Look, Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is a Packers Hall of Famer. I would think if he wins another championship, and we all know he's going into the Hall of Fame, that number 12 will be retired as well. We'll go up on that wall next to Favre and Starr and everybody else that's up there. So I don't doubt that. I just think that right now there's just an issue here where he just wants to be respected. That's it. That's it. Who's the other retired number up there? Don Hudson, Bart Starr, Brett Favre. Tony Canadeo. Trying to think. Oh, Reggie White. Is there one more? Nitschke. Nitschke's the other one. Nitschke, thank you very much. Nitschke's the other one. My buddy Tony texted me. Nitschke's the other one. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. That's terrible. That's terrible. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. My buddy Justin listening to the program. He texted me and he says, when we start the show tomorrow, we're going to say, last night Aaron Rodgers said goodbye to Kenny Mayne, but no mention of his status in Green Bay. And I have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion, you might be 100% correct. Eight 877-867-1670. Let's do this. We'll step away. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. Another hour and a half yet to go, as a matter of fact, and a lot to talk about. So with this team, as it is right now, this Bucs team, as it is right now, you feeling more confident going into tonight's contest? How about the Brewers coming out of the weekend, finally putting up some runs, and you get the first home run from Christian Yelich in a ballpark? I told you, if you're going to hit one, you're going to hit it at Great American because that's where the ball flies the best. And obviously, you've got the situation in Green Bay that continues to spin. We'll find out more tonight. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Michaels in by Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. This portion of the program brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Bill Michaels Sports Talk Network. And when you're down in that Bud Light, something nice to go with it. Always grilled meats. If you're going to be doing the tailgate, whether it's at home or whether it's at the ballpark or maybe at the racetrack, whatever it happens to be, kick off the tailgate season with our friends from Scholze Family Farms, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com, SCHOLZE, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com. They've got different kinds of brats, the beef, the blue cheese, the pork, the beer brats. They've got preformed beef patties for hot dogs, hamburgers, skinless wieners for the kids, you name it. And that's all awesome. But they have the steaks, they have the chops, they've got the prime ribs, the fillets, the ribeyes, the tomahawk ribeyes. You can smoke those things, roasts, briskets, you name it, they've got it. And Fox Smokehouse barbecue sauce and salty provision seasonings are available as well. So many good things from our friends at Scholze Family Farms, and right there in Humber, Wisconsin, right here in our own backyard. So if you want to get it delivered to your house, packed in dry ice, cold, good, ready to go, right there on the grill, that's from ScholzeFamilyBeef.com, SCHOLZE, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com, from their family farm to your family's table. That is Scholze, SCHOLZE, ScholzeFamilyBeef.com. I was going through the retired numbers of the Green Bay Packers, and I got a tweet here that said, from Cody, that said Paul Horning. Paul Horning's number is not in the Ring of Honor. It's not as the retired number. It's an unofficially retired number. It has never been placed on the wall up there in Green Bay. Just an FYI. Lombardi, correct me if I'm wrong. Lombardi originally announced they were going to retire it, and then he ended up leaving the team and passed away, and they never really did it. But it's, it's not on the wall, officially retired. Others have worn that number. Now, other people that have worn that number have never really made the team. It's just a number that was assigned to them during camp and such like that. But the Paul Horning number 5 has never been really worn by another player, but it's not up on the wall either as officially retired. The next number to be honored up there is most likely going to be number 12, and that's going to be Aaron Rodgers before it's all said and done. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Our buddy Steve out in Richfield says, I agree that Giannis is a bit of a choker, but I also think that the addition of Drew Holiday handling the basketball and the emergence of Chris Middleton hitting shots more consistently is going to help the Bucks more than we think. You don't have Eric Bledsoe turning the ball over and playing Olay defense. I wish that the Bucks would play more pressure defense and hustle just a little bit more. Watch Jimmy Butler. He is always going after the offensive board and hustling on both sides of the court. Did you watch what the Suns did to the Lakers? Holy moly. That's the way I'd love to see defense played. They absolutely positively harassed Anthony Davis and LeBron James yesterday. As far as the Brewers are concerned, it was great to see Christian Yelich get his first dinger yesterday. More consistent are the bats. Hopefully it's going to help him. I did notice that Avi Garcia choked up on the handle a little bit yesterday and got behind 0-2. Then he laced that double into the gap. Perhaps that could be what helps as well. Looking forward to the OTAs. They're going to show us with Jordan Love and all the rookies. I'm really interested in seeing Amari Rodgers and what dynamic he will bring to the offense and the return game. Lastly, it's time for the American Legion and the VFWs who are outselling poppies. I beg your listeners to support the organizations, honor all the vets who fought for our freedom. I'm going to be selling those poppies this weekend to support our vets. Have a great weekend. That's our buddy Steve in Richfield. Steve, appreciate the email as always. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we're coming up on the Memorial Day weekend, and I've been reminding you the Memorial Day Honor Ride is going to take place this Saturday at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. If you have the ability to get there, they have the ride is going to be taking place. There's a classic car show taking place. It's on Highway 67 in Oconomowoc, just south of 94 between Milwaukee and Madison. And you can head out there if you want to ride and sign up for it. I encourage you to do so. If you don't ride, you can still show up, still support those that are paying respects to those that have fallen, and you can still be a part of the classic car show. You can see bikes, you can see new, you can see used, motor clothes, all that kind of good stuff. There's going to be vendors and just a lot of good stuff going on. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. For all the information, go to wishd.com. That is wishd.com, and hopefully we'll see. I'm going to be out there this Saturday, as a matter of fact, with the honor ride and also one of the judges for the classic car show. So we hope to see you out there this Saturday. Again, for all the information, location, everything that they have to offer, go to wishd.com. That is wishd.com. And really looking forward to that. Phil says, if you put all the money in for a quarterback, the chances of the organization winning a ring is slim to none. You cannot put all the salary cap numbers into one guy. The average QB that wins the ring only makes $10.9 million. I've talked about that, Phil, for a long time. No quarterback in the history of the game has made more than 13.9% of the team's total salary cap. As it stands right now, Aaron Rodgers is expected to make almost 20%. It's like 19.8, 19.9, something like that. It's a pretty high amount. So who knows? Maybe he just pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Everything stays the same. And all of a sudden he comes back and takes the team to a championship and makes it very difficult for the Packers just to let him go. But we'll see. We'll see. 877-867-1670. This is from Brandon. Brandon writes, I heard you talk about Giannis being a choker. 100% agree. Now, I never said that. What I said is the national narrative is that Giannis, if he's going to be this MVP, he's got to be able to do it in all facets. And if he wants to be an outside shooter, I was watching the on NBA TV, and I was listening to the TNT analysts yesterday say that Giannis can't get to the line and all of a sudden start missing free throws, especially big ones down the stretch. Otherwise, he's got to, Budenholzer's got to take the ball out of his hands. And when you're an MVP, that's a hard thing to do because you want the ball and you want to be able to do your thing. But if they're going to play the hack-a-shack game on him every time he touches the basketball and put him at the line rather than allowing him to Euro step his way to a dunk or try to put it up from the outside, then you cannot down the stretch put the ball in his hands. If he is not going to be able to hit his free throws and that 13-second ritual that he's going to perform at the charity stripe and think about it way too much and keep clanging them off the rim and coming up just short of dropping an air ball on you, he cannot be your down the stretch leader. He just can't. So it's not me saying it. It's others in the NBA that analyze the NBA saying it, that, he's a choker down the stretch. He did this. He looked better and better in the regular season, comes to the postseason, down the big stretch. Sure enough, throws them up, bricks them all. But Brandon, Brandon went on to say, I think Aaron Rodgers doesn't say anything other than how great his relationship is with Kenny Mayne, kisses his rear end, and then tells everybody about his life with Shailene Woodley, yawn, he has in parentheses. And I was glad to see Christian Yelich get his first dinger. Maybe that's the first of a lot more to come this season. There you go. Brandon, appreciate the email. 877-867-1670. If you want to chime in, feel free to go ahead and do so. A lot of things to touch on. And this is from Braun, B-R-A-U-N. Braun says, it was great to see Lefty get the win, but man, the crowd, were they crazy or what? No social distancing there. Thank God he has, in giant capital letters, this pandemic almost over, and I can feel normalcy returning. Today is going to be a warmer day, a sunnier day in the state of Wisconsin, and I think for all human beings everywhere. That is from Braun. Braun, great email, and you are 100% correct. I said that watching Phil after he hit that second shot, walking up 18, and you could see the volunteers are standing out there with their arms up. It was almost like, and I hate to go back to a reference from a long time ago, but if you've ever seen the movie Animal House, Kevin Bacon, a very young Kevin Bacon, is at the end of this. He's dressed in the military uniform, and he's looking at the people running at him going, all is well, and then they just run his ass over. That's what it was like yesterday. Please refrain from running onto the golf course. All is well. Boom, boom, boom. And they went just flying past, like, and they just completely blew past everybody to get to Phil Mickelson. It was good to see, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking to see. But yeah, it was all is well. And the next thing you know, they're like, go pee up a rope. We're out of here. We're not listening to you. You're a guy with a yellow shirt. Who cares? Let's do this. We're going to step away, take a quick break. Stay tuned. We got a lot more of the Bill Michaels Show next.
Ready? This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Doors of Wisconsin. 6 years. It lets you upgrade the old, the leaky, the sticky, the squeaky, all those kind of windows and doors that are just craptastic in your home and maybe are bringing down the value of your home. You know, you're not keeping the heat out. You're not keeping the warmth in wintertime. And you can right now get the installation from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, which means if you go with the 6 years no interest financing, you will have finished paying off the windows and doors before the warranties are up. It doesn't happen very often, you know? It's a big deal. Unlike, say, like long-term car financing, where you're making the payments after the warranty expires, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, their warranties go for years. Some of the best in the business. You've got both a limited lifetime warranty and a 10-year installation warranty on the windows. So right now, beat that summer heat. Stay cozy in the wintertime. Energy-efficient windows from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But you got to order by May 31st to get the 6 years, no interest financing. 6 years, no interest financing. And you can set up that free consultation today. Today. It's that simple. All I got to do is go to PellaWI.com/radio. That's PellaWI.com/radio. Or hit them up at 855-PELLA-WI. 855-PELLA, P-E-L-L-A, 855-PELLA WI, 855-PELLA WI, and give them a call. And you can get that free consultation, whether it's in your home or it's in one of their showrooms, which is in Green Bay, Milwaukee, and out in Madison now. So stop on in, but terrific windows and doors. And if over the weekend, when it was starting to get a little bit hot, a little bit humid, if your air conditioning was working extra hard because the Pella windows and doors that you did not have in your home weren't there to help you out, well, you know what I'm talking about then, right? You probably could use them. So give them a shout. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Now, Christian Yelich over the weekend, not a bad way to go. By the way, the trade goes down on Friday, And they get rid of, Fire Rising and company, and they get Adams in return. He's excited to have Adams come into the organization.
I mean, he seems like a great dude. I mean, he's been around for a couple of days now, and everyone has said great things. He's been awesome to have first couple of days here. Great defender. Kind of grinds at bats. Came with a big hit for us in the first inning there, and I'm definitely excited to have him on board.
Also, when it comes to the injuries, Christian Yelich says, look, as far as the injury in the back and everything goes, I just hope that this is all in the past now.
That's a big part of the battle, just to be able to go and be out there. It's really hard to play baseball when you got to start and stop and take 6-week breaks and try and start up again and just have to sit and watch and not be able to contribute. And, it sucked, frankly. It hasn't been a great time, but hopefully that's behind us and can continue to be out there, more regularly and try and help contribute to this team.
And then he's looking at 3-0, and he's looking at a fastball that's going to come down the middle, and he knows it's coming, and he talks about swinging on that 3-0 pitch.
Just the way baseball is now, you take 3-0 fastball right down the middle, then they throw you 3-1 split, you roll it over to second base. You're like, well, could have just figured that out the pitch before, like what do we accomplish there? So it's not an auto swing by any means, but, it's kind of one of those counts in baseball now where you have to be more aware and maybe it's not just to shut it down and take a strike count anymore.
There you go. And he also talks about whether or not yesterday kind of jumpstarts his season.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait to see. Yeah, baseball's a hard game, so you never really know what the next game's going to hold, and just got to keep battling and keep grinding.
First dinger of the year, though, step in the right direction.
No, not really. It's just trying to hit the ball hard and just try and build off it. I don't know. I was just still trying to find it, and I guess that was a step in the right direction.
Well, but the biggest question is, after playing a few days now, is the back feeling good?
Yeah, that's been good. Even through the rehab stuff and these first 4 games I've been back here, it's been fine, no problems, and definitely hoping that continues.
I was talking about this the other day. Aaron Rodgers, Christian Yelich comes back, and while he didn't get base knocks right away, he took some walks, and he talks about the at bats that he's had being some of the best.
Probably the most consistent that I've had. The other ones are just kind of tough. Like, it just wasn't there, trying to find timing again and trying to get back in the flow of baseball. But yeah, results wise, probably the best. I thought I felt pretty decent other days, but just wasn't on time. If you're not on time in baseball, then it's gonna be tough for you.
It is. And also he says that the Brewers right now just continue to win 2 out of 3, stay the course.
And we just got to stay the course, man. There's ups and downs in a baseball season. Your downs are always magnified. Your ups are always magnified. You can't ride that wave when you play baseball. You just got to try and do what you can every single day and flush it. And the guys that have been around here for a while understand that and, know that if you stick after it and don't panic, it's going to turn. So that's what we're hoping for.
There you go. That's Christian Yelich after the game yesterday. And the Brewers back at it, taking on the Padres coming up a little bit later on this evening. The Padres throwing Blake Snell. He, the lefty, coming off his best start as a Padre in his first outing of at least 6 innings since 2019. His stuff has been electric all season long, but he hasn't been in the strike zone enough. He will throw up a bunch of walks, so the Brewers got to be patient at the plate, make him come to you. Meanwhile, Brandon Woodruff, his ERA 1.58 is fantastic, but he is getting next to no run support, the lowest in Major League Baseball for a qualifying pitcher, as a matter of fact. And that explains how he's pretty much winless in 4 starts going back to the month of May, despite having gone at least 6 innings with no more than 2 earned runs allowed in those games. So hopefully Woodruff can get off the schneid tonight. Maybe the bats are back. We'll wait and see. That's coming up between the Brewers and the Padres later on tonight. Hey, our friends at Epoxy Flooring Done Right, they provide Wisconsin home and business owners epoxy flooring coating services at reasonable prices, top quality workmanship. They can do it in colors and finishes. They can even paint the room that they're doing the floor in. I had them do it to my gym here in the house. Garage, you can get your garage done, or maybe you're a business owner and you want to get your showroom done. Rather than putting in expensive wood flooring or something like that, this is cheaper and it's just as beautiful and lasts even longer. Or maybe you're industrial and you want to dress up your showroom or your industrial floors. They can do it. That's epoxyflooringdoneright.com. Epoxy flooringdoneright.com, or call my buddy Sean, 262-443-2852, 262-443-2852. Again, 262-443-2852. From Green Bay to Madison to Milwaukee, everywhere in between, call my buddy Sean, 262-443-2852. Another hour yet to go. Stay tuned. A lot more of the Bill Michaels Show. It's coming up right after this.
Crisp red apples with fresh strawberries. Cider Boy Strawberry Magic Hard Cider.
Zone update.
Well, as expected, Aaron Rodgers did not report for the first day of OTAs in Green Bay this morning. That, according to ESPN. OTAs are voluntary, but Rodgers has routinely taken part in previous years. Also has a $500,000 workout bonus in his contract where he has to take part in a certain portion of the offseason program, which he has now forfeited. The three-time MVP in the front office are at odds with Rodgers reportedly telling the team he did not want to return to the club in 2021. Packers have repeatedly said they'd want Rodgers back and have no interest in trading him. Instead of being in Green Bay, Rodgers was seen in Hawaii with fiancée Shailene Woodley and other friends. Only part of the offseason program players are required to attend is the mandatory minicamp, which for the Packers is coming up June 8th through the 10th. It's the first time Rodgers can be fined by the team for not showing up.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
All business owners want the same thing, to make their business succeed. At Rural Mutual, they help that happen. As the third largest writer of commercial business in Wisconsin, they take the time to learn your business so they can properly protect you. Call your local agent today or visit ruralmutual.com.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Well, game 2 of the Bucks and Heat series is tonight in Milwaukee. Bucks own a 1-0 lead after their overtime win on Saturday. Giannis Antetokounmpo says they have to stay even-keeled after that win and not worry about outside noise.
There's going to be times that good things don't happen. There's going to be times bad things don't happen. And, my motto is don't ask, don't expect, don't beg. Just keep playing the game and don't get too high, don't get too low. It was one game. Now we just got to lock in, see what we did well today, see what we did not do well, and try to lock in for the second game.
Tip is set for 6:30, and Keston Hero reportedly being recalled from AAA to rejoin the Brewers after a 3-week stint in Nashville. Milwaukee faces San Diego starting tonight. With this Wisconsin Sports Zone Network update, I'm Zach Heilprin.
We continue on. Final hour of the program on this Monday. Man, what a Monday. It's almost like you go through the doldrums that is post in baseball, NBA, and then you get into the drought of not much. And we've been, when it comes to sports talk radio, we have been blessed with the dissension between the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, at least for the speculative side of things. You usually get to the mid portion of July in the All-Star break after the NBA Finals. Not much else going on after the NHL Finals. And you're in the midst of, nothing in the NFL to keep you going. So you've got kind of the All-Star break, and it really is nothing. There's nothing going on. In the meantime, you would always just kill for a topic. Well, today is one of those days where you're kind of like, wow, we've got so many different topics to speak of. So many different topics to speak of. Chris Paul going down against the Lakers, Giannis getting a win against the Heat, Christian Yelich getting a home run, Phil Mickelson getting the win, Aaron Rodgers about to go on the Kenny Mayne show tonight on ESPN, and what is going to be said there, what the narrative is going to be coming out of that for tomorrow. So just a lot of different stuff, that's going to happen. A lot of different stuff that's going on. We shall see. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Give us a shot. Glad to have you. He had a good scrape between the Lakers and the Suns. Had a good knockdown drag out with the Lakers getting beat. Charles Barkley saying the NBA has no balls because they will not suspend LeBron James for breaking the protocol. I mean, there's if you're a fisherman, this is like fishing in a barrel because there's so many whoppers in there. You know, this is pretty easy stuff. But really, I mean, two things to be concerned about. One is, what do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to say tonight? And really, whatever he says can be dictative of what you're going to look forward to or not, so to speak, regarding the Green Bay Packers season. And obviously game 2, which is probably the more immediate importance, game 2 in the Eastern Conference playoffs as the Bucs take on the Heat again tonight down at the Fiserv Forum. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Would love to hear your thoughts on many different things. By the way, Julio Jones did not mince words when asked specifically. He was doing an interview on FS1 and was asked about, is he planning on leaving the franchise, which is the Atlanta Falcons. His words were, quote, "I'm out of here." Jones said he was talking to Shannon Sharp on the network's Undisputed show. He's been the subject of many trade talks recently. And the team is taking calls. So Julio Jones, 32 years old, he requested a trade from the Falcons at the beginning of the offseason. But the organization trying to protect him and work quietly behind the scenes. But they've been talking to other teams for weeks now. The Falcons prefer not to trade him into the NFC, but would do so for the right price. Atlanta has asked teams that have inquired about Jones for a first-round draft pick in return. And when Jones was asked by Sharp where he would like to go play, he said he'd like to go play for a winner. He said, right now, I want to win. He's got a base salary of $15.3 million guaranteed for the season, scheduled to cost the Falcons $23.05 million against the cap, and has a cap hit of $19.26 million in 2022 and 2023. He had his worst season last year, by the way, limited in 9 games because of injuries. 51 catches, 771 yards. And 15.1 yards per catch was his highest. And his catch percentage of 75% was the best of his career. His 85.7 yards per game was his lowest since 2012. But he still proved that he can do it. Now, what many are saying is, if you're the Green Bay Packers, go make a deal for this guy. Bring him into your organization. Put him alongside Devontae Adams and your new rookie and Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Equanimeous St. Brown. Make it the best wide receiving core in football. Give Aaron Rodgers the reason to come back. Jones would love to play with him. Make it worth his while to say, look, it's all here. If you want to extend your legacy, we're going for it. Not that they could afford to do that right now, but certainly if they figured out a couple of different contracts. They would have to obviously make some adjustments to their salary cap situation. But it doesn't mean it couldn't be done. It could be done. Could very well be done. But does Aaron Rodgers want to be the highest paid, or does he want to be a winner? Because you can be the highest paid and be a winner of regular season games. But when you're talking championships, that's another area of all of this. How much does the money versus how much does the fame versus how much does the championships mean? Because sometimes you can't put all three together to get them all. You know? 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Shannon called him on the phone in the middle of the show, apparently. Julio Jones wasn't real sure that they were even on the air, according to Evan, who is tweeting us. But it doesn't matter. He said what he said. It's out there. Said, I'm gone. I'm gone. This is from Windy City Mark, who says, as a Bears fan, I love watching the drama in Green Bay. We would kill for that kind of a quarterback to stay here forever, and you people want to throw him out on his ass. We'll take him down here. I guarantee you wouldn't want to trade him to us. You may hate his guts, but you know he's the best. So if you really want him out of there that bad, put your money where your mouth is and bring him down to Chicago. Not going to happen. Damn right you know how good he is. I don't want to see him go anywhere else. For the people that want to say, you know, don't let the door hit you on the ass. No. I want to win. I want to win now as a Packers fan. I want him to come in and win a championship with his franchise. I shouldn't even say come in. I want him to come back and win a championship with his franchise. 877-867-1670. Hit us up. And that's a great question. Aaron says, could Julio Jones be the kingpin that brings Rodgers' drama to an end? It could. It could be. I don't know that it will. But, and I don't even know, look, the Packers are going to have to look down that road and see how far they want to kick the money can. You know, I know you owe your franchise the responsibility of being fiscally secure. I get that. Let me throw this out there, okay? Because sometimes this show can morph on the fly. Do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? Do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? That's it. That's the simple question. Do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? And I'm not talking about the coaches. I'm talking about front office. Do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? That's it. 877-867-1670. Kinger right away. Nope. Because that's really what it comes down to, right? Is your organization doing everything they can to win? Do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? Asking you that question. I'm of the. It's a yes or no question. You can't qualify the question. Okay? You can't just I'm talking in this right here, cuz there is no tomorrow. Okay? Because you can put all the pieces you want together, and then at the end of the season they're either broken down or broken legs or what. Just right here right now. Looking at the 2021 season, do you think the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win? That's it. Do you think they're doing everything they can to win? 877-867-1670. We had an email before. Wow, they went a little crazy off the deep end. I can't remember who sent it. Went a little crazy off the deep end. Bringing up the fact of saying, you got to pay seat licenses. They want your money up front. They're selling out every year. We all know that. They're asking you to spend money on renovations and such for Lambeau Field. They're asking you to pay the increased prices on jerseys and memorabilia inside the pro shop. They're buying up property all around the park. They're raising, prices on things such as parking and everything else. And so do you think that the Green Bay Packers are doing everything they can to win right now? Right now. Darren says no. Tough question. Are they doing everything they can to win in 2020 right now? No. Had to say that. Darren says no. Kinger says no. Over in the email inbox, this is from Jeff, who says no. Ken says, what if tonight Rodgers comes out and openly takes responsibility for his silence and perhaps explains the Packers had promised him something after the playoffs that they then reneged on? If Rodgers is tight-lipped, the Packers are downright cryptic If Rodgers is tight-lipped, the Packers are downright cryptic. Over the years, the downfall of the Packers seems to be the administrative offices since the departure of Ron Wolf, followed by Bob Harlan. This shouldn't be a story, yet the Packers have allowed it to become one. I love the children calling and writing from their parents' basement, suggesting Rodgers is a loser, a punk, and needs to step up and be a man, proving the two most common elements in the universe are hydrogen and stupidity. Furthermore, not all retired numbers, White, Horning, Favre, Lambeau, Robinson, and Willies are on the Ring of Honor at Lambeau. Not all are retired numbers, White, Horning, Favre. Well, there's 5 that are actually on the facade, as I had mentioned before. You are correct, Kent. That's an email from Kent. Are the Packers doing everything they can to win now? In your eyes? 877-867-1670. And just getting rid of all this speculative stuff. Are they doing everything they can to win? Bernard says, honestly, if the Packers were doing everything they could to win every single year, they had Aaron. There's no way they don't have 2 or 3 Super Bowls by now. It's about job sustainability with them. They have yet to prove it to us otherwise. This is from Nate, N-A-T, who says, no way in hell they're doing everything they can to win. All they care about is getting to the postseason and having us sheep spend our money on everything that is Green Bay. Otherwise, no, they don't give a damn about winning. They only care about the postseason. Cornell says, no way. They've had big-time free agents that could have come in and helped this team, and they've chosen not to go in that direction. They care more about stockpiling the money for sledding hills than they do about winning. Steve says, nope. The Don of Sports says, nope. Riot Badger says, no way in hell. Gutekunst is following the predecessor by not spending the money in the right place. Decent drafter, bad when it comes to free agent pickups because he's not doing everything he can. This one is from Sky's the Limit, who says, Russ Ball out of town. He's the guy that's keeping the money safe. This is from Spanky, who says, didn't Mark Murphy say he was going to knock down the silos? And here we are again with communication issues. Those 2 idiots need to go right now. Philippe says no. Grandpa Frank says no. Evan says no. Cody says not right now. Hopefully they get the message. And after June 1st, they pick up a couple of free agents that we can believe in. So overwhelmingly, I just asked a simple question. Do you feel that they are doing everything they can to win? Michael says, yes, they have limited funds. It's up to Rodgers at this point. Kinger, by the way, said Mark Murphy, said they aren't idiots. I'm not sure this. Aaron isn't helping. Otherwise, he'd take a pay cut. Aaron says, no, I think they can do more. I think the front office needs to decide what their process is. Are we going to win now, then get the pieces in here to win now? And if we aren't, just continue to plug and play and keep that mentality. Ron, welcome to the program. How you doing, buddy? What's happening?
Who's got the best record in the NFL over the last 2 years, Bill?
They have 26-6. The Green Bay Packers do.
Is that doing everything you can to win? I mean, if you're the best team in the NFL back-to-back years, NFC Championship games, I guess we can discuss that they haven't gone to the Super Bowl. But is that Goody's fault? Whose fault is that?
I'm just asking if they're doing everything they can to win. Now they have 0 championships to show for it. That's like the Bucks. Are they doing everything they can? They have 0 championships to show for the best record in the NBA 2 years back to back.
Correct. And where does that fall? Here's the thing it proved out to me last year. Okay, I wasn't sure that this was, Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback of all time, and that it wasn't Belichick that made him. Okay, Tom Brady has willed team after team after team to Super Bowl championships. Willed it himself, and I think he proved that in Tampa Bay. what have we seen out of Aaron Rodgers in the last 10 years in the playoffs? Subpar play. He's got good teams around him. We've heard the false narrative that he doesn't have, talent around him, that they keep wasting draft picks. Yeah, you take a look, he's had more Pro Bowl wide receivers than Tom Brady has had. He's had more Pro Bowl running backs than Tom Brady has had. Why does Tom Brady keep winning championships with lesser talent?
Well, Tom Brady had one. Wait. You asked a question. Tom Brady had a hell of a defense with him last year.
And
I agree with you that Tom Brady's a guy that wills you to win, but he also had a hell of a defense with him. And some of those championships they won in New England were led by defense. The big play at the end of the game against Seattle was led by a defensive interception. It wasn't Tom Brady.
Correct. Yep. So my question for you then stands: have the Green Bay Packers done everything they can to win? I think the proof is in the pudding. The talent is on the field. They had what, 7 Pro Bowl players the year before last?
Yep.
And they probably had snubs like Corey Linsley, who didn't make it, who probably should have made it. Okay? Don't tell me that the talent isn't there to win a Super Bowl.
Tell me this. Over the 5 they won one. So over the other 4 NFC Championship games they lost, where would you lay blame?
Where would I label what? I'm sorry.
Where would you lay blame?
Well, I would say I hate to do it, but nobody's lost 4 NFC Championship games in a row other than one Aaron Rodgers. He's the only one in the NFL history to do it.
See, that's the thing, and
he's had talent.
I appreciate it. Let me do this. I appreciate the phone call because we got to take a quick break. I want to come back and address that because I agree with you. He's got talent, and he's had talent around him. There is no doubt about that. And that is a false narrative that is out there. However, there is one more path to take. So stay tuned. I want to talk about this when we come back. More of the Bill Michaels Show coming up next.
This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back to the program, the Bill Michaels Show on the air. Glad to have you. Hopefully you're enjoying your day on this Monday. The Green Bay Packers, and it goes back to the call before, so I wanted to address this. The Green Bay Packers won the Super Bowl in 2010. They got to the conference finals in 2007. Lost to the New York Giants. Brett Favre's last game as a Green Bay Packer. 3 years later, they win the NFC. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. And then again in 2014, they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Then again in 2016, they take on the Atlanta Falcons. 2019, the San Francisco 49ers, and this past year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then it's easy to look at it and go, well, Aaron Rodgers has lost 4 straight. The Green Bay Packers have not. Aaron Rodgers is 1-4 in NFC Championship games. So let's go back. Okay? Let's go back and remember this and look at this with an open mind. And look, I've got an argument to all of this. 2014, again, Bostic goes up to get a ball he had no business going to get. Should have let it fall into the arms of Jordy Nelson, and they win the game. He didn't. The Packers didn't. The rest is history. Julius Peppers tells Morgan, go down, go down, go down. Morgan Burnett has nothing but daylight and end zone ahead of him. For whatever reason, inexplicably, Julius Peppers, the defensive leader, says go down. Clay Matthews, to no one's knowledge, pulls himself out of a game on a goal line stand. Micah Hyde has no idea where to be on a 2-point conversion. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Mike McCarthy got conservative play calling in the third quarter of that contest. Well, 3 straight drives. Run. They stopped it. Suddenly they get a couple of scores, come back in the ball game. Make it a close game. None of that was on Aaron Rodgers. The conference championship, the game in which they played in Atlanta, that defensive front had Rodgers under siege and decided to take his receivers out of the game, and that was the end of it. Not to mention when they did finally get momentum, Aaron Ripkowski, who breaks one loose as the Packers are driving, finally trying to get on the board and look as if they were going to put up some kind of a formidable fight, fumbles away the football, and Atlanta never looked back. They had no business being there. They get there because of Rodgers playing on a torn calf muscle and throws that unbelievable pass to Cook and the unbelievable catch to Cook in the game against Dallas, in which then it gets them within field goal range. Mason Crosby splits the uprights, and off they go to an NFC Championship game, a game they had no business being in. 2019, they got their asses whipped by a San Francisco team that was just better than them. That defense led by Bosa had Rodgers under siege all day. And, oh, by the way, lest you forget, Mostert ran for 127,000 yards in that game. As a matter of fact, he was still running 2 seasons later. That's how bad the defense was. This last year, I'll agree with you. Aaron Rodgers had the pick and 3 straight times ignored a wide open Allen Lazard, ignored the ability to run the ball either into the end zone or get damn close for the 4th and short. Was not on the same page with his head coach. He felt he had 4 downs. LaFleur didn't. So I agree with you. I'll give you that. But to say, well, he's lost it. See, it's wrong. Look at it in reality. It's wrong. And when you say they didn't do enough to put enough players around him, I'll say this. You got beat twice by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when you got down in the game, part of it was Rodgers looked to only Davante Adams. On the other hand, you can say he had guys that he trusted, but not guys that he trusted enough or did enough to get open enough. Had you had that one extra guy, that one extra free agent, that one extra wide receiver, maybe, just maybe, you walk away with a victory. It's not about going out and buying a bunch of guys. It's about getting one more guy, just one more guy to hedge your bets. That's why it becomes an obvious question. Are the Packers doing enough? Money doesn't buy you championships. I agree with that. The question is, are they doing everything they can to win? 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. Dean says, trade Rodgers after June 1st to the Raiders. The Broncos need to get a quarterback in return, top defensive player, starting offensive lineman, 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. Just do it. You don't need a starting offensive lineman. I'm just throwing it out there. You don't need to do that. And the reason being is because you got a pretty good depth chart right now on the offensive line if you're the Green Bay Packers. Because you're going to get Bakhtiari back. It's not like he's gone for the entire season. I think Cole Van Lannon's going to be solid. Josh Myers is going to be solid. I like the fact that you've got Lucas Patrick and Elkin Jenkins and John Runyon and the bunch. So I think you're going to be okay on your offensive line. Billy Turner, I forgot his name. I think you're going to be okay. Yeah, hell, you may even get Josh Myers to start his first year. If he goes through enough at training camp. I think he's solid, which puts Elkin Jenkins back out. You can either move John Runyon over or you can move Elkin Jenkins over. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. So that's just my take on all of this. Let's go to Minnesota. Will, welcome. How you doing today, man? What's going on? Will, you there? Will twice.
Ebb and flow.
Hey, what's up?
Go ahead. So every team goes through ebb and flow. You know, they've had Rodgers for a while. You can pull players in, you can pull them out, you can see where you're at, but maybe it's time for a reset. Get rid of Rodgers, start with something new. Maybe you lose a couple of years. I don't know. See what happens.
Yeah, that's
play a long game.
That's you know what? That's appreciate the phone call. The problem with going through some losing is you've got everything kind of coming together now. You know, you're about to sign Davante Adams, or at least you hope to. You obviously have restructured the contract of David Bakhtiari. You've brought back and restructured the contract of Zadarius Smith. You brought in Preston Smith for another year. You're kind of pushing your chips to the table, starting to, or at least for the most part, have now. So that's why it's not just easy to say, well, we're going to throw them out, you know. No big deal. 877-867-1670. Give us a shout. because I think it's a really interesting conversation. Frank says, how can a team that's been to multiple NFC championship games not be doing everything they can to win? At some point, you got to put the blame on your MVP for not getting the job done. I just went through that whole list, Frank. This year, I can say, yeah. Years past, no. Because, and we all know, don't lie about it. Because if you do, you're a hypocrite. And here's the problem. We know the problem, the number one problem with this team. Not this past year, even to a certain extent, maybe this past year, but for the most part, it's been the defense. It's been one more weapon on offense, and it's been the defense that's been the problem. Because there's nobody that's been screaming for anybody else's head other than Dom Capers and Mike Pettin. I don't hear, because we all figured the offense started to really flow, and I'm with you. I think better defensively, you don't worry about some of the problems offensively. But the offense has had to carry the load. We know what it's been. Call it the 8,000-pound elephant in the room. The pink elephant in the room has been the defense. We all know that. 877-867-1670. 877-867-1670. So, like this year when they picked Spriggs with their first pick, some of you had a problem with it. Well, it's not supporting Aaron Rodgers. Who gives a damn? I want to see quality players come in. If that's the best available player and he's going to be helpful in the secondary and push Kevin King, I'm all for it. Jordy Nelson wasn't a first-round pick. He turned out to be a hell of a wide receiver. That statistic is wipe your butt with that kind of stuff. That's something where people could just point the finger and say, the organization sucks. No, the organization's done some good things. What I've said is there's always another piece out there you can buy to hedge your bets, and they choose not to. They want to sit safely on a certain pile of money and just hang on to it. When there's been opportunities, that's all I've ever said. But I don't need, like last year, the year when the draft went down, they chose Jordan Love. I wasn't looking for a wide receiver. I wasn't looking for Justin Jefferson or anybody else for that matter. When I saw Patrick Queen available, that's who I wanted, because that was going to be a guy that was going to roam sideline to sideline for a long time to come for the Green Bay Packers. And, oh, by the way, he was chosen to go to a defensive team in Baltimore, and he only led the team in tackles and tackles for loss. He turned out to – that's who I wanted. He would have helped this defense. Maybe he's a guy that splits up the gap a couple of times and puts pressure on Tom Brady to throw the ball early. And maybe you get a couple of extra picks. Or maybe he gets to the quarterback before he throws it over the top of Kevin King for a score just before half. That's what I've been talking about. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Stay tuned. More of the Bill Michaels Show is next.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
855, 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Hit us up. And don't forget again, go to thebillmichaels.com. That's thebillmichaels.com, thebillmichaels.com. Charles writes, he said, I think that this is all being overblown, and at the end of the night, we're going to hear Aaron Rodgers say this is no big deal, and everybody will have been wrong. That's from Charles. Charles, I don't think everybody's wrong, but Aaron could very much come out and kind of throw everybody else under the bus. I don't doubt that at all. That could happen. That could happen without a doubt. This is from Mary. Mary says, I was just at Quick Trip and heard some of the staff talking about you, how they listen to your show every day and how you promote them. They're a local product, and we should be proud to have a company like Quick Trip here in our own backyard. Mary, I appreciate it. You are correct. Thank you very much. I do. I love Quick Trip. Love Quick Trip. Not only are they the official fuel and convenience store sponsor of the Bill Michaels Show, but they also have the lowest legal beer prices on 20 packs. So, Mary, maybe you were in there getting your 24-pack or your 30-pack on. Good for you, and thanks for supporting Quick Trip. Brady says, I personally think that Aaron Rodgers is nothing more than a California baby. He is soft. No, come on. He's not soft. If you're talking maybe emotionally or something like that, okay, maybe you can say that he just holds types of grudge. But tell me what superstar has not. Michael Jordan used to want to beat people at cards and checkers and golf and everything else, right? The stories are legendary. To beat the hell out of them to whatever competition they were involved in. You know, held grudges if you beat them. You know, some of the greats are like that. That's their competitive edge. He's not soft. And when it comes to physically being soft, he had 2 broken collarbones. Other than that, he's played in every game except for one for a concussion. And the other games he didn't was because the team was so far ahead, he just didn't need to play. So no, I'm not going in that direction. Come on. Let's not get crazy here. You know, keep it even keel. Have the Packers done enough? Not always. Have the Packers put a good team on the field? Yes. Have they done everything they could to win? Not always. Has Aaron Rodgers missed a few? Yep. Has the team missed a few? Yep. Has the coaching staff missed a few? Yep. Should they have more Super Bowls in their own pocket? Damn straight. Damn straight. So, look, there's enough blame to go around. 877-867-1670. When we come back, we'll get you set up for tonight because there's a lot going on, a lot of things to look forward to, and we'll talk about it all coming up next on the Bill Michaels Show.
Covering Wisconsin sports like a blanket. This is the Bill Michaels Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Reminding you that all the UTV and ATV trails are open right off of the Moscato Island. They're now open 7 days a week, and all the Marinette County ATV trails are open. So you can load up the ATV, the UTV, the two-seater, the four-seater, whatever it happens to be, and head off. They have direct access to all those trails. Leave your truck and trailer right there in the parking lot. And they've got the new guided waterfall tours. You can visit them online at the Four Seasons, FOUR Seasons, WI.com, thefourseasonswi.com. And Marinette County, by the way, the waterfall capital. And you can now take a guided waterfall tour if you'd like to do so. They've got lodging, outdoor adventure, golf, the nine-hole executive golf course right there on the island, pontoon cruises, kayak and canoe rentals, all that kind of good stuff, fishing, and volleyball, horseshoe, you name it. Lily's Ice Cream Parlor, Boundary Water Sports Bar and Grill, the Diamond Room for fine dining. They've got a lounge upstairs, arcade, indoor swimming pool, hot tub, sauna, you name it, all right there at the Four Seasons Island Resort. If you want to call them, get the Bill Michaels special they're offering again right now. Limited time, 715-324-5800. 715-324-5800, or Barb knows all about it. Get a hold of Barb, B-A-R-B, at the Barb at the four, F-O-U-R, seasons, W-I.com. Barb at the Four Seasons, WI.com. And see for yourself everything that they have to offer. Plus, they've got a great championship golf course in the Pine Mountain Resort and Timberstone Championship Golf Course. That's in the UP, because that's their sister resort. Pine Mountain is stunning. Now, the ski hill obviously not being open, but the championship golf course is, and they've got trails and hiking and everything over there as well. And you can sit outside on that deck in the sunshine. You can enjoy some beverages, come off the golf course after playing a little golf, get something to eat, get something to drink, enjoy your time up there. A lot of really neat stuff. That's PineMountainResort.com. That is PineMountainResort.com if you want to go play some championship golf. 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, do so. So coming up tonight, you got the Brewers and the Padres. Game one of a 4-game series. Brandon Woodruff on the hill takes that 2-2 record with a 1.58 ERA and 65 strikeouts to the hill up against the lefty Blake Snell, who is a 3.79 ERA holder, 60 strikeouts. He's 1-0. He's coming off of a really solid month, but he hasn't been in the strike zone enough. He's a guy that can give up more than a few walks if you're patient at the plate. Look for a big game out of Lorenzo Cain, who is batting .333 against him. And Jackie Bradley Jr. has seen Blake Snell more often than not. More than most Brewers, he's been hitting .300 against him. So look for him possibly to have a big night tonight. But Woodruff needs some run support. Woodruff, by the way, per 9 innings on average, is receiving the lowest run support in all of Major League Baseball for any qualifying pitcher. So maybe yesterday in the series against the Reds, maybe that got the Brewers a little bit, just a little bit off the schneid when it comes to scoring runs, and especially now that you got Christian Yelich, who's got a dinger in his back pocket. So we'll see. Hopefully that happens. Then you've got the Bucks are back at it tonight, and that's good news. as the Bucks going for the second win in this series against the Miami Heat. And the Bucks looking to extend the 1-0 lead to a 2-0 lead. And in addition to doing so, maybe play a little bit even better tonight. You know, Bucks played okay. They didn't play great, but they played okay coming into this contest. They're up game 1. And maybe tonight, maybe get a little bit more out of Giannis when it comes to free throws. Maybe Budenholzer adjusts a little bit and, you know, has Giannis in the low blocks. And how much do you think that Giannis being whistled for a foul because he took too long at the free throw line to shoot a damn free throw? Maybe that gets in his head. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm hoping that the Bucks blow out Jimmy Butler and crew, come away with a win, and then they're back at it again on, Thursday night, I think, would be the next game. And this time they'd be in Miami. So they play tonight, and then Thursday night is the next one. And I think it's a TNT game, if I'm not mistaken, 6:30 on Thursday night. Whereas tonight is also on TNT. That I do know, 6:30 Central Time tonight. So we'll see what happens in that contest. By the way, I was paying attention to NBA.com and the Four Letter Network and such. Big argument about whether or not Giannis has the ability to lead a team to a championship. The consensus right now, nationally speaking, and I was watching the guys on TNT yesterday, no. Choke it in the postseason. You got to be the guy that's got to put the heel of your boot on the throat of the team that you're facing, and down the stretch, put them away. Giannis has got to be able to do that. So we'll see. We'll see if there is another, again, Drew Holiday has already come up big. So I would look for him to have another big one. Guy that I'm looking to Forbes. I'm looking to Dante DiVincenzo. I'm looking to Lopez. I'm looking to those guys in this contest. Not just Giannis. I'm looking to those guys, though. And hopefully they can continue to step up. But I kind of like your unsung hero in these games. Who are you looking to? Who's going to be the guy? I mean, does PJ Tucker give you a few more points? I mean, he didn't have any in the contest the other day. Does he come off and not just give you some defense and give you a few rebounds, but does he come in because he had more fouls than rebounds, but does he give you some points in this contest? Pat Connaughton, does he give you some points in this contest? Forbes, remember, one of the better three-point shooters, went 0 for in the first contest with the Miami Heat. So we'll see if he comes in and gives you some additional points as well. So I'm looking for a big one out of Holiday. I'm looking for a big one out of Middleton, but I'm also looking for another one out of Lopez, who gave you 18 in the first contest. Dante DiVincenzo, though, he's got to give you more than 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. Got to give you more than 3 points. Good stuff today. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Until we talk.